JTV.com.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Iran maintains a chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz. Gas prices are still on the rise in the U.S., and the Trump administration is now allowing the purchase of Russian oil already at sea. CBS's Skylar Henry in Atlanta with more on how this is affecting businesses.
For Jim McKinney, diesel isn't an option. It's the fuel that keeps his business running.
When fuel goes up 30%, that is a shock to our whole system.
McKinney and his sister run Atlanta-based moving company Peachtree Movers.
You could spend $300 every other day on gas.
McKinney says if the spike continues, they may have no other choice but to pass some of that cost to customers.
All 6 crew members have been killed in yesterday's U.S. military refueling plane crash in western Iraq. Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman Dan Kane says there is no let-up in the U.S. military mission.
We've attacked over 6,000 targets, and our strike packages continue to launch every hour.
There are billboards going up near some military bases reminding service members they have a duty to refuse illegal orders. They come after a video by some lawmakers, including Senator Mark Kelly, that angered President Trump.
Barry Landendorf of Veterans for Peace says the billboards are designed to educate the public about the right as well as service members. It first came up after the strikes on drug boats, but there are other issues like deployments to cities.
There's a lot of anxiety among people in the military, I think, regarding what their obligation is going forward.
And he said there are rules in place about orders.
Unlawful orders are sometimes very difficult to discern. And that's why, when you have a questioning orders, you can go to your commanding officer and then they're required to give you an explanation.
He said it should not be controversial. It's the military's duty.
That's CBS's Cammie McCormick. The FBI is looking into the driver's possible motive of yesterday's synagogue attack in Michigan as being anger at the war with Iran. A source tells CBS News the Lebanese-born U.S. citizen recently lost several family members in an airstrike in Lebanon. Senator Alyssa Slotkin, who is Jewish, urges Americans to stop anti-Semitism.
You have a responsibility to call it out, because when you don't, it gives permission for people to climb that escalation, that ladder of escalation.
CBS's Jim Krasula reports on more weather misery.
High winds have caused tens of thousands of power outages across the Rockies, the Plains, and the upper Midwest. Several trees fell on Mary Cobb's property in Evergreen, Colorado.
We can't get in and out of the driveway, for one, and the power lines are down, so it just feels very dangerous.
The winds have caused flight delays at major airports in Denver, Minneapolis, and Chicago. The Duluth, Minnesota area is under a blizzard warning.
Stocks are down on Wall Street. This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Well, the busiest person in the building today is over there at the traffic desk. I know we have highway closures. Lori, where do you even begin?
I know. Where do we begin?
Right.
How about, are you a fan of the snow? I mean, look at it out
Oh,
there.
yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful.
Well, I grew up in Alaska. This isn't even snowing. Are you kidding?
Just like sunshine.
I've been enjoying people driving today. I'll just say that.
Traffic is brought to you by D.R. Horton. Yeah, it's a tough drive over the passes, especially I-90 is closed, and we're not hearing any time of reopening. Eastbound 18 is Issaquah Hobart Road completely closed. Now, US 2 is open, but chains are required. Seattle to Everett, though, down on the mainland, not too bad, 32 minutes. Bellevue to Linwood, a 16-minute drive. Bellevue to Federal Way, you're going to see about a 4-minute delay. And, of course, the first South Bridge is scheduled to reopen at midnight tonight. We'll keep you posted if we get any alerts on that as well. D.R. Horton has new homes in communities across the Puget Sound and Central Washington ready for you. Visit drhorton.com, America Builder, an equal housing opportunity builder. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Transportation crews are asking for patience from drivers as they work to clear snowy and slushy roads. Casey Conley is with WashDOT and tells KIRO 7 TV a snowplow was rear-ended just last week.
We say this a lot, and you hear us really trying to remind people to give our plow crews plenty of space. Thankfully, that driver was not hurt, but that truck had to be taken out of service, and that means it's not out there plowing and treating roads.
If you see a plow working, don't pass it. A late season surprise for most of us with snow falling all over the region. Here's meteorologist Ted Beener.
Pretty widespread precipitation across much of western Washington. The heaviest amounts are more down towards the South Sound and Centralia Chehalis. And up further north, we got lighter precipitation, but it's mainly falling as snow throughout the Puget Sound area. And by the time you get up towards Bellingham, hardly anything is going on at this point.
He says most areas should see this snow turn to rain this afternoon, but there's a chance we could have a repeat of this tomorrow morning with chances of small amounts of snow accumulating in the foothills above the 500-foot level. Winter weather is impacting operations at SeaTac Airport. Dozens of flights have been delayed as the airport has been under ground stops for arrivals off and on all morning. Weather and low visibility has forced air traffic controllers to space out landings. We've also heard from some people who have been sitting on the tarmac while de-icing takes place, waiting to take off. One person called from the plane and said he's been sitting there for 2 hours. Utility crews have been working around the clock to get power on following Wednesday's windstorms. Andrew Padula is with PSC. He says some of the damaged infrastructure is in rugged areas that are hard to get to.
So you may not see our trucks out and about as you would like to in some of these areas. They may be up in the hills and up in the mountains working on those complicated locations. But once we get those areas fixed, you'll start to see more of the crews down below where the transmission lines feed into the substations and distribution and into the neighborhoods.
But now the snow is slowing them down. All right, let's get a look at that weather. Right now, we've got a rain or snow mix in downtown Seattle and plan on a wet day all day today, whether it's rain, snow, or a mix. And it's going to be a cold day. Highs maxing out right near 40. This weekend looks to be less rain, more sun, with temps warming a bit into the mid to upper 40s. 35 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Happy Friday to you. Jake Skorheim sitting here alongside Spike O'Neill.
Hey, buddy. Happy Friday.
Happy snowy Friday.
You made it in okay, right?
Yeah, the roads are not a problem.
Well, here
up in the pass.
I'm seeing TV coverage of Snowmageddon 2026, man.
This is their most exciting day.
They do. They get out of the shop. They can't wait to get there. Chain up the old news truck.
See the roads, though, when you look? I mean, not in the mountains. Obviously, it's a disaster in the mountains, so be careful. But on the lower land roads, lowlands, my wife and I, what we do is we record all these whenever there's snow, and then we watch them at night with a drink.
Really?
Two things you're going to get, which is fun. You can sometimes see people sliding around, which is fun. But then also, the news or the reporters, they always reach down, and you can make a drinking game out of it. I'm not suggesting to do that. Do it with water.
Well, when you're home, in front of a fireplace.
But they reach down and they touch snow as if nobody has ever touched snow before, and they go, it's icy and it's
They're giving us
an
assessment of the molecular structure of this particular regional snow. Is it sticky?
Just in case.
Snowball-esque.
Just in case you don't know.
Powdery.
They love it. Did you guys get a bunch at your place?
Well,
and you were out yesterday. Do you want to update the audience on what happened? Are you willing to share?
No. What you're really asking is, do I want to get divorced?
Okay, fair enough.
No.
Spike's back.
No, we had a little mishap in the family yesterday, so everybody's fine. Mm-hmm. We got to witness.
Was not serious.
Not serious.
Good.
But yeah, we got to witness emergency room triage caliber care.
Nice.
At one of our local health providers, and it's funny you ask because I appreciate your chance to even say this. I have never seen more people resorting to emergency room for their medical attention. I mean, every room was full. Every straight piece of hallway wall was lined with a bed with a person in it.
Yeah.
I mean, they were triaging people. That means they're just assessing, getting your vitals.
Yeah.
Making sure they're literally taking people out of the waiting room.
Trying to figure out, are you going to get an x-ray? Are you going to get
well, not even, you got insurance, let's get your blood pressure, let's get your heart rate, let's get your blah, blah, and then put you back in the waiting room.
Yeah.
Then have somebody else come over and they gave my wife an EKG. Somebody in my family got an EKG in the waiting room.
Nice.
In the waiting room yesterday.
Yeah. Just because they ran out of space.
No space. And I say this because it was UW Medical at Northwest Center up by Northgate Mall. Mm-hmm. Amazing people. They were all.
There's a lot of people there now.
They were on
that
roller skates.
Has grown quite a bit.
The staff I'm talking about they were on roller skates. They're moving around so fast.
I wouldn't recommend that.
Everyone was pleasant. Everyone was professional. They could not have been there. overload, their work overload, did not reflect in any way, shape, or form on anybody I saw them interacting with.
Sure.
Because we could see interacting with half dozen patients in the hallways.
Yeah.
So
no colonoscopies or anything like that.
Is that what that was? Maybe it was.
Not in the hallway.
Guy was. I didn't know if he was.
He didn't seem to enjoy it, but
he was.
Anyway, I ordered one. I said, why not?
Yeah. Anyway, everybody's fine.
Good.
Everybody's fine. Thanks for
right.
asking. And to your earlier question, no, we got like a light dusting at my house as I was leaving this morning to come in, and the roads were wet and clear. But I'm seeing these people down in the South End and Auburn. Maple Valley, they've got real snow accumulation on the roads.
Yeah.
People just forget how to drive. We
They
just
do.
completely go amnesic in our driving skills because it has been a while since we've had some lowland cover.
My kids were very upset because there was just a dusting of snow. There was enough that they could sled, so that at 7:30 a.m. they were outside sledding.
Again this morning? Because
Yes.
I know you had it earlier in the week.
Yeah, but school was not canceled because all schools care about is roads, and if it's not covering the roads, then they can still get there. And so they were just outside cursing that it was not collecting on the roads.
The snow gods?
Yes.
Uller, the snow god?
They were so mad, but they'll get over it. They'll be fine. So yeah, lots of snow happening around. Did you see pictures of 90?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You showed me a picture of a jackknife.
That was out near.
semi.
That was out near Clay Ellum, out near the Curly zone.
Yeah.
And you wonder how these drivers who are trained professionals, even the best among us.
Yeah. Well, some of them are. Some
of them are. Some of them are on their 95th hour straight in a row drinking caffeine and God knows what else to keep going, which is illegal. We're not condoning that.
Yeah, or they've got illegally licensed.
Look at these photos. It's crazy. Yeah, I saw that. This guy was, jackknife's one thing, but this guy went guardrail to guardrail.
He just blocked the whole thing.
It was like a Michael Bay movie. He was going for it.
It felt like I know he wasn't, but if you had been doing it on purpose, you could not have done a better job of blocking the entire road.
You could not have wedged that truck in any better if you tried.
Speaking of the Department of Licensing, can we play a little bit of this audio? I thought this was so great. We had that story recently about how the DOL had they basically had a hack that happened.
A security breach that got hacked.
And then they didn't tell the people to the extent that they should have. At least that's what the allegations. They didn't tell the people to the extent that they should have. And then they left it open for 6 years.
Right.
For an additional 6 years.
They broke it and they didn't own it.
Yes.
The break. When they alerted people that their identities might be compromised.
Like it might have been stolen.
Yeah, you may have been compromised and you might want to check with law enforcement.
Listen to this audio. This is Best Buyers. She sounds like a retail electronics shop.
Best Buyer?
Her name is Best Buyers.
Oh, Best Buyers. That's funny.
Where was this at, Laura? Who had this audio? Was this KIRO? Was this I should figure that out.
I think it was Fox 13.
Fox 13. Okay, I'm going to look it up real fast just so I can attribute them because it's a good interview that they did with her. Looks like, yeah, I believe it is Fox. You're right. Fox 13.
I was right. Shocker.
So Bess talked to Fox, and she talked about being a victim of this DOL hack.
Mm-hmm.
She no longer lives in the state, and so she was trying to figure it out from out of state. She lives in Idaho now, but listen to this.
What is going on? And they said, your information seems...
She called up DOL and said, hey, what's going on?
...to have been changed again. And I was like, how is this happening? It was a different address this time. Again, somewhere I had never lived. I was just appalled that a state licensing agency could have such buffoonery. Like, who is running the show that you guys would allow this?
So in this case, her ID, not only her ID, but like where she lived, it kept getting changed.
Well, that's the thing.
She's like, what are you doing?
They issue new IDs with new addresses. They probably open new accounts.
Yes.
They take out loans in your name.
And they
she
can
probably
send
owns
it
3
anywhere.
homes.
And
that's sold on the dark web.
She's like, guys, why isn't this a problem that you're fixing? She says that she found out it was a larger issue. It wasn't just with her.
People who have retired and moved away.
Her voice got low real fast. That's her attorney.
That's
I should
somebody
say.
else stole
That's
her
her
identity.
attorney.
This is Bess who lives in Squim.
This is the other Bess. They actually tracked down both Besses. No, this is the attorney.
All sorts of people who had Washington driver's licenses and said, hey, that happened to me.
This was Bess, who she talks about. She lives in Idaho now.
I never wanted to leave Washington. I was born and raised there. And sadly, the politics are driving out people like me, small business owners.
So she's been driven out. And
if you'd like to hear,
but she didn't get to take her ID with her.
No,
apparently.
if you'd like to hear Bess in Spanish, press 2.
Do we have Laura, can you bump that audio? That's the funniest thing.
Oh my gosh.
If for anybody who doesn't know this, the DOL has just been really firing on all cylinders lately. So not only do they have the hack, but they also had a phone number you could call in, and let's say you want to get instructions in a different language.
Part of multilingual services provided by the DOL. Yeah.
Which they said was in 10 different languages.
Right.
Which they might as well, at this rate, the way they do it, they could make it 35. Go ahead, Laura, play with that
Please
head.
press 1 for English. 2 para español. Thank you for calling the Department of Licensing Customer Support Center.
Oh, boy.
If you have a valid Washington driver license or ID card and a social security number, press 1.
I could be wrong about
For
this.
Norwegian, press 6. I'm sorry, but
I took Spanish in high school.
Yeah?
I don't speak it that well, but I understood that perfectly.
If that would have been the final, you'd aced that. Right?
Yes.
You did great.
We have another clip of them, too. Here's another one of the, we don't, of the DOL.
Make one up, but we don't want to do that.
That's enough.
You know what I love about this? Poor Bess. Bess Byers, now of Idaho. Thanks a lot, Washington. The fact that she was naive to the potential buffoonery of Washington bureaucracy.
Especially with her politics, she should have suspected it.
Come on, you can't really be. This isn't your first interaction with buffoonery.
Guess who wasn't surprised at all when I saw that this happened to them?
Jake Skorheim wasn't surprised. He's come to not accept, but expect this level of buffoonery.
All the time. Yeah, I expect it.
If you have a valid Washington driver license or ID card and a social security number, press 1.
Press 1.
That's AI, artificial insulting.
It is.
That was an AI voice.
It was an AI voice. That's what they claimed. They said, we made an AI mess up, and we didn't mean to do that. But then you found out that this ran for years.
It ran for years.
Also, why didn't somebody notice it before a couple of years? How is that possible? Or did they? And they warned them about it, and they just said, we'll get to it eventually.
Kept falling through the cracks, I guess, right?
Jeez Louise. Craziness. All right. Oh, by the way, quick tease ahead. In about 15 minutes, we're going to talk to John Scholes, who is the president of the Downtown Seattle Association. We had a bunch of stuff on the DSA yesterday when we were talking about businesses that are leaving Seattle and going to Bellevue.
Gave us some of the numbers that the direct impact of this, and this is these numbers
was basically just like because of bad policy in Seattle and head tax numbers and all these different things.
Yeah, this is millionaires tax passing.
Yeah, and now what can we expect coming up soon? So we'll talk to him in just about 15 minutes. He's going to be great. So make sure you tune in for that. Also, later in the show, if you guys want to get in your text messages, which we will then do at the end of the show, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. Back to the income tax thing for a second. Let's shift back to that before we get to John, next segment. Did you see this? There was two things that I saw, but let's start with this one first. Governor Bob Ferguson posted this yesterday. He's celebrating the millionaire's tax, which was approved. It went through the House. It went through the Senate. I felt like it went back and forth a number of times. And then finally, everybody seems to sign off on it, who voted for it at least. And then Bob Ferguson's now going to actually sign it. Did you read his statement that he sent out?
The good news recap, all the wonderful benefits of the millionaire's tax.
Yeah.
This is their touchstone reason for pushing this through.
Mm-hmm.
The benefit to taxpayers. We had one of the reps on yesterday.
Good Lord, there should be a benefit if they're going to take more money, right?
Well, there's
got to be something.
You're walking around lighter. You got more room in your pockets.
Yeah.
He didn't list those. There's a whole bunch of other benefits they didn't list out. No, but yesterday we had one of the reps. I think it was Rep Hill from Spokane was saying
we played her audio.
We played her audio yesterday, and she was kind of living in a very selective interpretation of the benefits of this. But she was spot on about the point that 99.25% of Washingtonians will receive some element of a tax break.
Well,
that to her numbers, because it's going to affect such a small number of households in the state of Washington.
A tax break, or will not be subject to the tax?
Well, they won't be subject to the millionaire's tax, but part of the tax relief that we're about to cite in the governor's victory letter, his victory lap, for example, tax relief, right? A family tax credit to 460,000 additional households. That's a tax break.
Yeah, but that's not for everyone.
No, but 460,000 households. Yeah. Well, to Representative Hill's point, 99.25% of Washingtonians won't be subjected to the millionaire's tax. And the other taxes that the governor's talking about were tax relief. That was his requirement, one of the few requirements he held on to for his support of this new legislation, this new income tax. Were these things he listed out in his letter yesterday.
The problem, though, is the down the road. That's what everybody was saying. I mean, nobody feels bad for millionaires or billionaires, but obviously this doesn't stop with them. Well, this continues to get worse and worse for people in Washington State.
Yeah,
which is why they didn't put a floor on it.
The slippery slope element. I'm with you. I would have loved to have seen some guarantees. And they said they didn't want to put any kind of a floor
binding
into this.
Future legislation.
Right.
Yeah.
They want to tie the hands. Well, you can always untie them, Bob. You know, you can always in the future, if you're going to talk about lowering it, you may, you know, there's 1,001 ways to do that in the future.
The argument that Jamie Peterson made for that is he said, we don't want to bind future legislation for when they overspend. Why not? How about the plan not be overspending? Don't overspend.
Did he say when they overspend?
When they overspend.
Yeah, because, duh.
Yeah, but just don't do it.
Oh,
don't overspend.
I'm with you. That's probably not an option for him.
Because the whole justification for this initially, they said was, well, we've earned such a budget crisis, which is why he raised a bunch of taxes, the largest tax increase in history. And now he's saying, well, millionaires and billionaires are going to take care of that for us, which they're not.
First time in 100 years we've had a state income tax.
Yeah.
Despite 11 different elections to the people saying no thank you.
Voters had an opportunity to say no.
Despite its unconstitutionality, which will be challenged in court.
Yeah. And so I thought it was interesting that he is, talking about this. Also, what did you think of this? The second line of his statement here. Did you read this? Millionaire's tax has now been approved by the Senate. That's his first sentence. Second sentence. Donald Trump and the MAGA Congress are taking from the lowest income Americans and transferring that to the wealthiest Americans.
Okay. Spot on.
Well,
spot on, dude.
You've now bought into what he's trying to do is to distract you from his bad policy.
Well, no. Okay, I'll give you that.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, own it.
It's justification for it.
Well, yeah, I know it's
or
bad
rationale
justification.
for
It's bad
it.
rationale. If you're trying to institute an income tax, which is the most unpopular thing he could possibly do, he's trying to hide behind the shadow of the boogeyman of Donald Trump, which is effective for people, apparently.
Well, when you look at the fact that the state's losing multiple billions of dollars in Medicaid relief, in food assistance relief.
I got to be honest, projected relief or projected federal dollars in future years. But I looked this up. I said, how much money are they going to lose? Again, I don't know if this is completely accurate, but this is what the AI assessment of how much money Washington stands to lose right now from the Trump administration. Do you want to take a guess at what it is for 2025-26?
It's probably about $250 million.
For 25-26? No, it's $1.3 billion.
Oh, that's okay.
So more than you thought.
Oh, yeah, for just 2 years. Okay,
Yeah.
and they're talking about a potential income tax that's going to raise
But what is
half of which is coming from the government's cutting off of funding for
what
Washington
I'm saying
State.
is, so $1.3 billion over 2 years. But how much over budget were they? How much over budget was the Democrats in our state? So
it was 16. Nobody's saying it's all Trump.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, he's basically saying that. I mean, with his statement, Donald Trump and the MAGA Congress. You could make a very good argument that they should not be cutting Fed dollars, all those different things. And I'm happy to listen to those arguments, not that I would agree with all of them.
Sure.
But if you're going to sit there, the very first thing you talk about in this income tax you're supposed to be so proud of because all the good it's going to do, the very first thing that he does is he blames Trump as a means to, like, why he had to do this?
Well, for his first sentence is we've now got a millionaire's tax. His second sentence
But
is
it's
why.
not a millionaire's tax.
Well, his second sentence is why.
But
We've
it's
got a
not
millionaire's-
why.
He's not talking about the overall budget deficit or the overall overspending or the $9 billion tax increase or the $7 million fundings or spending cuts that they made, right? He's talking about the deficit.
Well, they didn't make any spending cuts.
He's talking about the income potentially generated by the millionaire's tax. And he's talking about the next is those $1.3 billion over 2 years that the state can no longer count on, services that are still required,
Yes.
Hitting the least among us.
Gotcha.
Those are all pretty spot on. I don't have a disagree with any of those.
Would you, if you were putting out this statement, would you have made that your number one thing?
No, I'd have flipped them up. I'd have started with
You know
Donald
what I
Trump's
would
a
do?
bag of dirt and he's taking
You would have
money
put it
from
number
you.
one?
Oh, sure. No,
Really?
I'm being facetious a little
Oh,
bit.
I thought you were
but,
serious.
I wouldn't have dropped it below 2.
When you look back at the state budget, which in 2019 was 50, and now it's 81.
Different issue.
It's not a different issue. It's the exact
I'm
issue.
with you.
It's the exact issue.
Okay.
Why is Washington State so expensive?
Because-
Is it because of Donald Trump? Well, that's the question I'd be asking Ferguson. He's saying that the reason this had to pass is because of Trump and MAGA. And then he's saying it's so expensive for everyone here in Washington. Now you're going to get exemptive diapers and hygiene products.
In 3 years.
In 3 years,
Yeah.
once this thing goes through.
Well, you can if you're planning
And so
on having
my-
a family, now you can think about
Start stocking up on diapers now.
I won't have to. No,
Actually,
don't get them
don't
now.
buy them now. Buy them
right.
later.
We think about if I'm going to have a kid in a couple of years, I won't have to pay a tax on diapers.
I
That
might
makes
be
my
wrong about
decision
this.
easy.
I might be wrong about this. The things that make Washington expensive, a small percentage might have to do with what's happened federally. But Donald Trump has been back in office for a year.
Agreement. Yeah.
Bob Ferguson and Democrats have run Washington for 40 years.
Yeah.
And so why is Washington so expensive? Why is it the 45th least friendly place tax-wise? It's not because of what's happening in the White House.
Is it the snow in the passes? It's not. You're right, and I'm not going to say they're not irresponsible. Their money. Well, we're agreement on that. I'm not going to say that the deficit hole we find ourselves in is self-inflicted over 40 years. You're right about that, too.
And so the same people who caused the problem are not going to be the ones to fix it. That's what I'm saying. And for him to blame other people, to me, feels like he's just obfuscating. He's trying to make you look the other direction as he's passing something that nobody wants. Everybody we've talked to.
I'm with you on all those points.
Can you ask me on the other side of this break?
Sure.
Oh, no, we have a guest.
We got a guest.
Quickly, go ahead.
Really quickly. If we had $1.3 billion in Medicare cuts, would they have gotten this tax push through?
If we had
if we didn't lose this $1.3 billion in Medicaid and federal money, if that wasn't part of the deficit hole we're looking at, could they have gotten this passed through?
They would have passed it through no matter what. Democrats run everything. They can do anything they want.
But would they have needed to? They're going to make half of it. They're going to make twice what the government took away. It's a longer question.
They still would have passed it, 100%. Maybe. So they saw an opportunity and they took it. They took it. All right, we got a lot more coming up. John Scholes, Downtown Seattle Association, joins us next. We'll be right back.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Where you buy your vehicle matters. At Subaru Puyallup, it's about safety for every drive, confidence in every season, and a buying experience that is stress-free. It starts with friendly experts who listen and continues with stress-free pricing, an easy process, and a genuine care that lasts the life of your Subaru. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event through March 31st, enjoy extra savings. Subaru of Puyallup, part of the Harnish Auto family. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership.
Hey, this is Pete from Home Matters, a show that covers everything having to do with your home. Tune in every Saturday from 2 to 3 on KIRO News Radio, where you'll hear from local business owners who are experts in their industries. From foundation to flooring, roofing and windows, furniture, and financial planning, it's everything in and around your home, and we've got you covered on Home Matters. If it matters to you, it matters to us here at Home Matters. Saturdays from 2 to 3 right here on KIRO News Radio, or listen to the podcast on mynorthwest.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right, tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Hundreds of flights have been delayed coming in and out of SeaTac Airport, and dozens have been canceled. Port of Seattle spokesperson Perry Cooper spoke to KIRO 7 TV.
The real challenge is the airlines trying to get all those aircraft de-iced at this point. So the matter is you've got to get those aircraft de-iced at the gates or maybe on the cargo area spaces where they are. And those can't get new aircraft that have arrived into those gates until those at the gates are cleared away.
Visibility has also been an issue. All of this contributed to intermittent ground stops throughout the morning to stagger arrival traffic. If you're catching a flight today, be sure to check in with your airlines well ahead of schedule to see if your flight is affected. With the recent rain and snow across the region, it's still not enough to put a dent in the region's ongoing drought. Larry O'Neill, the state climatologist of Oregon, says we need much more to add to our snowpack in the Cascades and the Olympics.
Without that snowpack, we know for sure that we'll have water supply issues because that natural reservoir is much lower than normal.
O'Neill says the below-average snowpack will likely mean impacts to food supplies, hydropower and electricity, and potentially more wildfires this summer. In the meantime, meteorologist Ted Beener says to expect more snow on Saturday, while higher elevations will see the most accumulation.
That's where you're going to probably see snow on the roads.
O'Neill says Oregon is experiencing its second worst snowpack in state history. The new head of the Seattle Police Officers Guild is pushing back against the city's rules regarding ICE enforcement. Here's KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes says officers are required to document ICE activity with their in-car and body-worn cameras and to verify the agents' identities.
By respectfully requesting official identification when safe and feasible.
I think that's very dangerous.
In an exclusive interview with the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM, new Seattle Police Officers Guild President Kent Liu says he does not expect officers to do that.
I don't really see it appropriate approaching a dynamic scene.
Barnes told a city council committee officers who don't comply with the policies could be put on administrative leave. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Latest numbers from Puget Sound Energy, 35,000 customers still in the dark. Seattle Light reports 1,500. Snohomish County PUD closer to 700. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 78 points, S&P 500 down 35, and the NASDAQ down 210. And now over to the KIRO News Radio traffic desk, and with a very busy Lori over there today. What's going on?
Oh, man, so much. Traffic is brought to you by D.R. Horton. So we have this new accident southbound I-5 at 405. Now that's in Tukwila, and it's in the HOV lane. A Port of Tacoma to northbound I-5, that ramp is blocked with a collision. And a new accident eastbound 18. It's right before you get to the West Valley Highway. It's actually not an accident. It's an obstacle, something in the right lane. Seattle to Everett, 33 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, a half an hour. And we're still seeing a 4-minute delay if you're heading out of Bellevue to Federal Way. I-90 closed, eastbound, actually both directions of 18 to Issaquah Hobart closed. US 2 is open, but chains are required. D.R. Horton has new homes in communities across Puget Sound and Central Washington ready for you. Visit drhorton.com, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Well, snow should start transitioning to rain this afternoon as temps warm slightly. Upper 30s, near 40 for our high today. A light rain snow mix in 36 right now, downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. I'm very pleased to welcome our next guest. Let's just get him right in here, Spike. John Scholes, he is the president and CEO of the Downtown Seattle Association, joins us now. John, thank you so much for making the time. We really appreciate it.
Great to be here, Jake and Spike.
John, I saw you were giving a speech recently, and you had a line that really, I think, is easy to understand and connects with people.
Was it, why are you leaving, Your Honor, the mayor? Why are you leaving?
Yeah, please
well,
sit down there.
She walked out before the numbers popped up behind you.
And listen to reason. No, I want to read your quote back to you and then ask you a little bit about it. You said, "We don't need more business taxes in Seattle. We need more businesses in Seattle paying taxes." That seems remarkably easy for people to understand. Tell me a little bit about what Seattle is like right now for businesses.
Yeah, pretty straightforward, right? And we've got plenty of space for more businesses to be in Seattle paying taxes. What's been unfortunate over these last couple of years is, there's $1 billion of new employer taxes that our city government has imposed on folks doing business in our city. And that's contributed to jobs leaving our city and job growth on the other side of the lake. And that's contributing to a significant office vacancy rate, collapsing commercial office values in downtown Seattle, which is then shifting property tax burden to residents and to small businesses through their leases. So this is something we have to reckon with as a city. We've made ourselves an outlier when it comes to where you may want to locate jobs as an employer in this region, given different tax structures. These are taxes you're not paying in Bellevue and other parts of the region, and it's having an effect on where those jobs locate. So I think the attitude of city government over the years is we need a lot of business taxes to raise a bunch of money and make more investments, et cetera. But it's driving businesses out. We need more businesses paying those taxes. That's how we strengthen and grow the job space.
What's been your response? I mean, I know that I was reading in an article, I think it was 2018 or something, that Amazon got into a disagreement with the city council about this head tax idea on business on employees. And ever since that point, if you were to look back from 2018, they haven't really made any investments in growing Amazon in Seattle. Instead, they moved to Bellevue, and now, of course, they're expanding elsewhere.
They built a couple spheres. That's nice.
Spheres are okay, yeah. But as far as like growing in Seattle,
I'm comic relief because this is a hard time for Seattle. I hope you understand the dynamic.
He also loves it.
I love this.
He loves other people's money. I'm kind of kidding. But John, with this new income tax being discussed now, as you're trying to make a case for businesses to come to Seattle, how is that changing the conversation? And how are you trying to encourage people to, want to build a business here?
Well, there are lots of great reasons to choose to do business, to choose to locate your company in Seattle. We've got an incredibly well-educated workforce. We've got natural beauty and incredible quality of life, a fabulous downtown. There's so many assets in this place that has made it attractive for decades for smart people that move here and want to work here. And so that is true. And it's also true that it's more competitive than ever, and employers have more choices on where they're going to locate. And we need to acknowledge that. They do not have to be here. They do not have to grow here. They have other options. And we want them to continue to choose Seattle. And it's good for all of us that they do. It keeps the rest of our taxes low. It helps fund great city services and great parks system and school system. But we have to be more competitive than we are today. Our mayor acknowledged this at our State of Downtown event earlier this week, that we are an outlier when it comes to the tax structure in this region. Our state is making itself an outlier in some ways to other states. That's not the position we want to be. It's not the position to further prosperity. We need to change course.
John, what is a better way to go about getting new businesses to come here? What can the city do moving forward, given the parameters we're locked into? What can the city offer businesses to entice them to come in here and build this bigger tax base?
I think first, the message from City Hall needs to be one of, we value you. We want you here. We want to work with you to grow jobs. You're important to the tax base. You're important to the philanthropic investments that happen here. And I credit the mayor for saying more or less that at her State of the City speech last month. I think that was a really important sort of tone-setting comment from her right out of the gate. But it starts there. And in some cases, that's not the tone and the language we've heard from certain elected officials in our state. I mean, we had a state senator who, is a friend of mine, and I have a lot of respect for her, but using the word villain and encouraging her colleagues to, refer to businesses as villains as we talk about imposing taxes on them, that was helpful to the messaging and the strategy. And that's not what employers are looking for when they're considering where they want to locate jobs. We need to be at the same table, and we need to value the contributions that government and the public sector is making and that the private sector is making. And so it really starts there. And then we need some more predictability. I think that's one of the biggest challenges with where we've been over the last couple of years. It seems like every day you wake up, if you're an employer in this town, in this region, in this state, it's like somebody else wants to put a new tax on you or raise the one they just adopted. And so there's a limited amount of predictability, which is poison to business investment and growth. When you're asking people to make big commitments on leasing space, on hiring people, on buying equipment, on planting a flag to locate in a city, if you don't have some predictability of, what is life going to be like for me? What are the economics? What are the regulatory factors? What are the taxes? That makes it very difficult to make those kinds of commitments. And we haven't had a predictable environment over these last 3-4 years in this state, region, or city.
I know you and the mayor, you've got a good relationship with the mayor. I think you think highly of the mayor. When the mayor jumped right out of the gate when she was just even the mayor-elect at that point in time and stood in front of a Starbucks and kind of vilified one of the largest employers, of a cornerstone of industry in the city, that doesn't seem to help.
I don't think it's all that helpful, and I think I'm glad that she's spending her time in other ways over these last many weeks and months since taking office. And so,
is that a learning curve issue for the new mayor? You think that those kind of maybe I'm wrong calling it a misstep?
Yeah, it's got to be.
We'll see less and less because I'm me, John. I've said this to you before. I want you to be my mayor, but that's just me. I know you like the mayor.
There you go.
I'm telling you, we'll help you get there. Anyway. I apologize for intruding.
Can you speak real quick to, there are businesses who are trying to figure out, like you said, you want to be able to plan and you want to be able to know what's coming down the road to make investments or to not make investments. If a business does decide, listen, this is just too expensive for me, or I want to go here because I really feel like despite the taxes, it's still a great place and there's a thriving community and all the things that you talked about.
Sure.
Businesses, it's not greed for a business to try to survive, right? I mean, if they decide the tax benefit or the tax burden becomes too much, and that whole Laffer curve thing, and then they have to go, some people say that's greed. What would you say to that?
I don't think that's greed at all. I was actually talking to somebody at our event who's got 40 employees downtown, a digital marketing agency, who was having to lay some folks off and raise prices for their clients because of some of the new sales taxes that were adopted by the state legislature last session. Those are not the things they want to be doing, but to stay in the city, those are the choices they were sort of forced to make. They're not printing money in their basement. They've got to, make margin and make payroll. So, that to me, it's not greed. I think we've got some great business leaders in our community, some great companies that we want to remain here, and we want to ensure that they've got a competitive environment to continue to succeed.
All right. Well, that's President and CEO of the Downtown Seattle Association, John Scholes. We really appreciate your time, and sounds like businesses got some good leadership there under you. So well done.
Thanks for the opportunity, gentlemen.
All right.
Hope to talk to you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get you back on the show. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back.
He is.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday. Scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS4KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to cars4kids.org now or call 877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
You didn't work hard to watch your retirement unravel. You saved, you sacrificed, you built something meaningful for yourself and for your family. Hi, I'm elder law attorney Rajiv Nagaich. I've seen what happens when unexpected health events collide with traditional retirement plans. Savings that took decades to build drains away faster than anyone expected. At LifePoint Law, we help you build a life plan to help you protect your assets and way of life. If you are retired or thinking about retiring, now is the time to double-check your retirement plan.
Attending a free seminar now can help prevent your entire life savings from being devastated. Some simple planning will ensure you don't run out of money. Seats are filling up and your family's future is too important to delay. Sign up now for the next seminar in Bellevue on the 12th, Federal Way on the 14th, and Everett on March 17th. Learn more at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
An organized home is a happy home and a happy homeowner. John Curley here. Closets by Design made me and my home happy. Experience the quality and backing of a national brand with friendly local Seattle service. From booking the appointment to a free in-home consult to installation day, Closets by Design will leave you wowed and clutter-free. Right now, get up to 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule today.
Buying a car is a big decision, but Carter Subaru makes it so easy. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership with more than 700 vehicles in stock, the largest selection in our state. And right now, you can get the 2026 Subaru Forester starting at 0.9% financing for 36 months. Shop now during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 3/31/26.
Hartley here from Wilcox Farms. For over 100 years, we've cared for hens with healthy pastures and organic grains. That's why our eggs are nutritious and flavorful. Next time you shop, choose Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Welcome back to the show. It's funny. We haven't talked about this. I mean, it's not funny. It's just, why do people say it's funny when it's not funny? My wife does this all the time. She goes, it's really funny. I read this horrible story.
It is funny that how quickly America's attention
it just moves on.
Can be diverted to something else shiny.
We're talking about Nancy Guthrie, the disappearance. She's still missing. They still don't really know much about what happened beyond what they told us in the first 2 weeks. Remember after that ring cam footage came out?
There was a real an avalanche of new discoveries, new shocking discoveries and revelations. Every one of which you felt like, oh my God, now they know something. Now they can find something. Now they can move forward and maybe resolve this. But that was 5 weeks ago, 6 weweeks ago.
Yeah, I think we're at 41 days, I think, since her disappearance. Do you remember 2 weeks into it, maybe just around 2 weeks, 13 days, right after the door cam footage came out, there was this fever pitch of coverage on this. And every major news network at night, they would cover it all the time, but they were like literally breaking away from their normal schedule, and they were doing live wall-to-wall coverage as they were making those arrests. They made a few arrests.
Right. Because with the camera, they had somebody with a height, a weight, a shoe size because of the tiles on the floor of the porch.
Yeah, then they
so
had
much
DNA
more information
from some gloves that they found that didn't end up leading them to anybody in any database. So that was kind of a dead end. They had another camera angle that showed up from 2 miles away but nearby on a back road at around that time, like shortly after she was supposed to have gone missing, where they said, hey, this car, it's a weird time for a car to be speeding down a road like that.
Right.
Could have been, and apparently that led nowhere. They haven't really got anything, it seems. And we're now 41 days in, and now I saw this on the internet, and I was interested in your take on this. There was a guy who goes out searching, and that's the other thing. There's this whole closet industry now of independent online sleuths, and then people who physically go out to places like in Arizona where they're searching for Nancy Guthrie, anything, any evidence. So this guy, he's out in the middle of the desert, and he goes to a washout area, like in Arizona and high desert areas, when they just get even a little bit of rain.
Sure. It turns into massive surface flooding.
It turns into huge flooding, And so he goes to an area where there's all these rocks and stuff have been collected from one of these washouts, and he reaches in there and he pulls out what looks like a bedspread. Now, I don't know if there's reports of her missing a bedspread, but it pulls out what looks like a gray or tan colored bedspread, and then inside the bedspread is a pair of it looks like women's pants, like what you might see.
Pajama pants, right? Is that what I read?
Yeah, and it could be
house clothes.
It's tough to tell.
Right.
It looked like old lady pants.
Okay.
And so I'm going to play you the audio from this, and this is from his YouTube. He has a YouTube channel called Exploring with Jim, and is this going to crack the case wide open? I don't know. Let me play you this, and then we can chat about it.
But it's definitely a mattress cover. So weird. There's something else. It's a women's clothing item
He's got gloves on, by the way, as he's pulling this mattress cover or blanket, whatever it is. He's pulling this away.
And he's documenting every moment of this.
He's documenting it. He's got these gloves on, and he's touching the item, and he's turning it over, and then he spreads the just kind of like these rags out, which end up being a pair of pants, and he's touching it the whole time, and he's moving it around.
Women's pants.
It's kind of
when you're out here and you're searching, you find things. It's really hard. Difficult decisions to make, you know what I mean?
It's like, what does he do with this information? I'm sure the FBI gets called if it's real. But my question is, hundreds of thousands of views on this now. Is this even real? Could he just be a guy who's out there creating content?
Of course,
like
he
you
could
don't
be.
know. I don't know.
Speculate.
Maybe he's legit.
I mean, we had first stories we had where the only arrests that were made in this were people who were fraudulently trying to claim that they were the abductor with phony ransom notes.
Yeah.
If I'm Jim and I've got a cottage industry of YouTube followers who like me to go find stuff, I don't put myself in legal jeopardy by faking out a crime scene.
Yeah, I mean, it looked to me.
I mean, there's reward money out there.
I'm not an investigator, but it looked kind of legit.
You know, as these washes come through with these storms, maybe this was buried and covered up, and somebody else couldn't find it earlier, and a rainstorm came through and washed the topsoil off.
Maybe this could be the break in the case. Who knows? All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Sometimes we hang on to our old attorneys and coaches too long. They've been around. They've done good work. But when the legal game changes, you need a team that is hungry to win now. At Bible Law Group, we're that faster, hard-hitting legal team, ready to fight for every inch in the courtroom. With over 40 million closed for our clients, we know how to win, and we're ready to take on the biggest legal case of your career with you. Don't stick with a playbook that's gone stale. Switch to the legal team that's ready to win now. Let Bible Law Group be your linebacker in the courtroom. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Mariners fans, the 2026 season is officially on deck. And Cal, Julio, and the defending AL West champs are ready to feed off your energy at T-Mobile Park. Be here for every monster home run.
There it is, number 60. The magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Every 100-mile-per-hour heater.
And he throws it and the ball game's over. Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Every every clutch moment.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
It's going to be an epic 50th season, and you won't want to miss it. Mariners baseball. Try to answer.
Lock in your spot for the season with a Mariners Reserved membership. Get the best seats at the best prices for 20 games of the whole slate. Plus, enjoy perks like guaranteed postseason access, year-round savings, no ticket fees, and more. Memberships start under $500. Find your plan at mariners.com/26.
If your home is 20 years old or more, it might be time to have your roof inspected. Your roof is your home's first line of defense, and at Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we'll help it last as long as possible. Our trained and licensed crew will evaluate your roof, repairing when we can, and offering replacement options only when necessary. Plus, every new install comes protected with a full year of free maintenance on us. Visit GuardianRoofing.com today.
Staples has hot deals on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18, exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. A federal judge has squashed grand jury subpoenas sent to the Federal Reserve Board as part of a criminal probe by U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro's office. Judge James Boasberg says a mountain of evidence suggests the subpoenas were issued to pressure Fed Chair Jerome Powell to lower interest rates. The investigation was related to renovations of a government building. Pirro says she will appeal and make a motion to reconsider.
This is a decision that is untethered to the law. It creates chaos where any defendant who wishes to evade an investigation, guilty or not, can allege I'm a victim, I'm being targeted, and therefore you cannot investigate me.
A blast rocks Tehran after Israel threatened to target the area of government-organized rally. No immediate reports of casualties. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says of Iran,
with every passing hour, we know, and we know they know, that the military capabilities of their evil regime are crumbling.
President Trump and Defense Secretary Hegseth are casting doubt about the well-being of Iran's new leader.
Ayatollah Mushtabah Khamenei has not been seen in public since it was reported he took over for his father, who was killed at the start of the U.S.-led war. Various reports indicate he is in a coma and that one leg was amputated after he was wounded on the first day of the attacks. President Trump told the Brian Kilmeade show, quote, I think he's damaged, but I think he's probably alive in some form. Secretary Hegseth told reporters at the Pentagon he believes Khamenei is, in his words, wounded and likely disfigured. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Sources in Lebanon tell CBS News 2 brothers of the suspect in yesterday's Michigan synagogue attack who were killed in a Lebanon airstrike recently were Hezbollah members. CBS's Allison Keyes with reaction to yesterday's attack that killed the suspect.
Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer is clear about the climate amid the attack.
This is targeting babies who are Jewish. That's anti-Semitism at its absolute worst.
Democratic Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin says,
I feel just an immense amount of pain, as does the rest of the community.
She says the Jewish community suffers 10 times the number of hate crimes than others do. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
A state of emergency has been declared in 7 counties in Nebraska as dozens of wind-driven wildfires burn in several areas. Kelsey Cruz with the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office.
We are incredibly grateful for the dedication of our rural volunteer firefighters. These men and women give their time, energy, and sometimes leave their jobs at a moment's notice to protect their neighbors and communities.
Stocks closed down on Wall Street. This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world.
I'm Tony.
There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers.
How are you?
I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
Well, temps are slowly warming up across the region this afternoon, causing now slushy roads and standing water in some areas. So let's get right to the KIRO News Radio traffic desk for the latest with Lori.
Northbound I-5 at 516. Look out for a collision. That one's in the HOV lane. And southbound I-5 right after 405 in Tukwila. We have a collision also in the HOV lane. Port of Tacoma to northbound I-5. That ramp is blocked with a collision. Heading from Linwood to Seattle, just an easy 18-minute drive. And to Bellevue, 16 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, a little bit of a slowdown, about 5 minutes. And a 3-minute delay as you head from Federal Way into Bellevue. I-90 still closed, and both directions of 18 is Aqua Hobart at Tiger Mountain closed. US 2 is open, but chains are required. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. A surprise late winter snowstorm has made it tough to get around in some areas. Trooper Rick Johnson with the Washington State Patrol says they're responding to multiple spinouts and collisions, mostly in the foothills.
We just want people, if you can delay your trip, please do. And then if you're going to travel, just take it extra slow.
And a reminder, don't pass snow plows if you come up upon them. Sound Transit says Cross Lake Light Rail is finally ready after decades of planning. The new 7.4-mile segment opens March 28th along I-90. It links Seattle's Chinatown International District to South Bellevue and adds stops at Mercer Island and Judkins Park. It is the first time light rail has ever operated on a floating bridge. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports the idea dates back to proposals in the late 1960s, but voters rejected those early plans. Now, 60 years later, the East Side will finally connect to Seattle by rail. The family of a girl who says she was raped repeatedly by a gym teacher in Skykomish is demanding answers. They've hired a lawyer now to get them. Michael Fowl spoke to KIRO 7 TV.
Our job is to investigate how this happened in a school that I think has 52 students, maybe, a very small school. And things don't happen in a vacuum.
Court documents say students and even staff had raised concerns about Daniel Bubar's relationship with his student. Investigators say he was told he couldn't be alone with her, but that a student, not an adult, was required to be with them, and the abuse continued. Average gas prices have gone up another 2 cents overnight in Washington. That puts you at about $4.76 a gallon of regular. The national average is now $3.63. While Washington's prices are considerably higher, they've been generally increasing more slowly than national averages. And with chilly temperatures overnight, Pierce Transit will offer people free rides to warming centers and shelters through Sunday night. There are shelters located across Pierce County, including Tacoma, Lakewood, Puyallup, Parkland, and Gig Harbor. And now look at that KIRO News Radio weather. Cold temperatures could mean a rain-snow mix all day if we don't warm up too much more. A high near 40 for Seattle this afternoon. Back to near freezing temps overnight, and that mostly likely translates to another snowy start Saturday morning, turning partly sunny and highs in the upper 40s by Sunday. 35 and a very light rain-snow mix, mostly rain now at this point in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. We got a lot of show left. We got a lot of stuff we want to talk about. In just a little bit, we're going to do our Friday favorites, which is a fun time to look back on all the crazy stuff that happened this week. It's going to be at 2 o'clock. Also, your text messages, you can still get those in at the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. If you have a particular segment or topic that we did this week that you thought was extra good, and you want to let us know, maybe it'll make its way into the Friday favorites, so you can let us know there.
You want to give the listeners a vote too? That's great.
I'd like to.
I like that.
It's not a one-way conversation.
No, that's very.
This is
That's
a
nice.
relationship
That's a
we're
great.
having.
That had never occurred to me to care what these people think.
I care deeply.
You do.
I do care deeply.
Why this works so well.
That's why we're doing it. All right. Can I play some audio for you that I think is going to be interesting? We're trying to figure out different ways to cover this income tax conversation. Every conversation I'm having outside of work, it eventually comes up. Maybe it's not the main character in the conversation,
but it reaches into everybody's life in so many different ways.
Reaches into your pocket, and it takes your money, and it kills your spirit, and that's what they're trying to do. I guess
that was one of the things the governor cited in the benefits was more room in your pockets.
He said, you're not walking around with all these heavy pants, burdened with your own money. Instead, we're going to take your money, and you should be grateful for it.
Lighten your load, Washington.
Exactly. Yeah. He's actually trying to lighten the load. Here's what he's trying to do in a roundabout way. He has recognized how expensive it is to find housing in Washington. Real estate's very expensive. And he said, what if I just scare everyone away and then there's extra real estate and then I'm increasing supply by decreasing demand?
You call that 4D checkers.
This
playing
is
4D checkers.
Yeah. What a dumb idea. Guys, what a dumb idea. Do we all know how dumb this idea is? Do we all agree it's a dumb idea?
If I burn my house down, the view from my deck will be much nicer.
Isn't that genius? All right. So, in a roundabout way, this is affecting everybody. And the topic came up with John Schneider. John Schneider does the John Schneider Show on 710 Seattle Sports. And when he was doing that, the question came up, do you think, we're in the middle of, all these deals being negotiated. You're going to find players who want to come and play here. You're trying to entice them to play in Washington versus, playing in wherever they might be playing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no team in Idaho. Boy, if Idaho could outfit a team, they would do very well recruiting players.
The Spuds.
The Spuds.
Right? The uniforms are brown and yellow.
Perfect.
It'd be great.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
Maybe the Cleveland Browns can move to Idaho.
Oh, they've already lost that team once. Don't even float that.
I'm just kidding.
Don't even float that. Those poor people.
So here's what John Schneider had to say, and you and I had talked about this at one point. Yeah. Is this going to affect? Because we had looked in when this thing was first being proposed. I wish it was just a proposal, and I wish it had died on the vine at that point, but it didn't. When Jamie Peterson, state Democrat Majority Leader Jamie Peterson, was originally proposing this, we were talking about how much money is actually going to be taken out of the pockets of millionaires that we love, because they're vilifying millionaires. That's why they call it the millionaire tax. They're trying to make it feel like, hey, these people are not you. These are not people. No, you don't even know any millionaires. Right. You shouldn't know any millionaires. Millionaires are evil people. At least that's my interpretation. That's what they're saying, I think. I don't believe that.
John Scholes, president of the Seattle Downtown Association, is that if I'm
he
had to speak to one of his colleagues, a Washington State senator who he's
not a colleague. He's not he doesn't work with her.
He worked with them.
Knows her.
He knows them and they're friends. That he said, tone it down there, Ace.
He said, stop calling them villains.
Right.
That's bad policy to call somebody a villain when they're contributing a ton. Anyway, all that to say, we were talking about how they want to do this tax and how it's going to affect, what millionaires do people love? Sports stars.
You betcha.
And we were talking about how Cal Raleigh is going to be on the hook for $3 million a year with this tax. Yep. Probably more, actually, because that's just his baseball contract. Mm-hmm. There's endorsements. He's got
outhouse money coming in.
He's got outhouse money.
Yeah.
You're 100% right.
Boom, baby.
He's got
Honey Bucket. I apologize. I want to make sure if you're going to pay the guy to be a licensed endorser, let's get it right.
Let's get the name right.
Money Buckets.
All these guys. You look at all these guys, and they're going to be paying. And how is it going to affect them and their desire to stay here?
You brought it up. How are you going to get the best talent to come here? Well, if now part of their salary is going to be 10% of their salary is going to be dipped.
Specifically in places in sports like the NFL, which is number one, they have salary caps, which do affect how much they can even pay these guys.
Limited pool of resources, you bet.
They have a far lower threshold for what guaranteed money is, and their careers are a fifth of the length of the average Major League Baseball career.
Yeah, football has the shortest pro career on average.
2.9 years or whatever the version is, 3 years basically, call it 3.
Yep.
It's a really tough sport, and so you want to make as much money as you can in it for your family while you can make it, and these guys are going to be affected. So how does this affect John Schneider's ability to get players to want to come here? He actually addressed that, which I thought was interesting. Here's what he had to say.
Possibly a state tax. Is that something that comes into play a little bit because of the 10%?
Talking with Wyman and Bob.
And hit, and you haven't had that in the past.
It's been a huge. The agents were kind of there are a bunch of agents yesterday texting me like, hey, can't use that anymore, buddy. But it is. I think it is for all the pro teams here. In town, it's always been a huge attraction. especially competing with, the California teams. It's been a big deal for us. So, it's going to sting. I mean, it's going to, from a recruiting standpoint and, what that looks like and all I'm sure like Mike Reinfeld and, Mickey Loomis and all the Cap guys that have been here before too are looking at this, like, dang, it's going to sting. There's no question about it.
So he does say it's going to affect. I imagine it's one of those things where the Seahawks will probably, what the agents are basically saying, if I had to get inside the head of an agent, is you're not going to be able to negotiate a lower pay for these guys because they don't have this income tax in your state. Like, that was an argument the Seahawks could make before. Now they're going to have to kind of do the opposite. The agents are going to go back at them and say, hey, you know what? If we come play for you, we actually need 10% more than you're offering right now to offset.
Because that's coming off the back end of my guy's deal.
Because why is my guy going to pay that?
Yeah.
He's going to make the decision, and, whoever has the most leverage is going to win in that case. And if you really want a player, you're going to have to pay him more.
Well, it's funny because, something that John Scholes said in that last break, one of the things that was you hang your hat on the environment here, the educated workforce here, the amenities that are Seattle, the environment, the community, all the different, you sell the upsides of the city as opposed to the tax burdens of the city.
Yeah.
Schneider now finds himself in the same thing. You used to be able to use, hey, in California, you're going to lose this much of your salary right off the bat for taxes. We don't have that here. He's now got to sell the culture, the amenities of the facilities, the fan base, the 12s.
Sure.
He's got to rely on the peripherals to sell the. It doesn't just have the money thing anymore. And like we said, you and I have numerous times, we can talk all we want to about how great the air is, and you can ski in 40 minutes from town,
sure,
and you can have a boat and a view and a blah 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 blah. But when it all comes down to it, especially in a league like the NFL, we've got the shortest earning period.
Yeah,
it comes down to money.
And you also, the other tough thing that Seattle has is L.A., California, and New York are the only two states that have a higher tax burden than Washington State.
Right.
But those are also the biggest markets in the country. What is Seattle, number 14?
13, 14, depending
13, 14.
Yeah.
LA and New York are number 1 and 2.
1 and 2, yeah.
So
Chicago, Boston, Dallas, I think as you move down, then San Francisco, Miami, if I remember.
So when you go and play in places like that,
right,
you can also count on getting so much more exposure, which actually turns into dollars for you.
Dude, I'm watching Puka Nacua do these drink ads, and because he's in LA. Right, and you talk about going to play in New York City.
Puka Nacua is getting more money through advertising than JSN because Puka Nacua is in LA.
Right, and we're up here.
But who has a better season? JSN.
Right.
Now, if JSN was going to go play in LA,
right,
he might pay more in taxes, but he's going to make more money.
In the periphery of the energy. They're in the cultural meccas of New York and LA, Chicago, Miami.
But now we've removed that from Seattle. We used to have that where you say, hey, you know what? You might make more here because tax reasons.
Right.
But that doesn't exist anymore under this new tax.
Hey, you can throw a fish every once in a while. Get in a market, throw a fish. you got to reach into your bag and find all the niceties.
All the salmon you can handle, bro.
Yeah,
it's going to be great. You're going to love it.
If you think once you've caught a salmon, football's nothing. Right? Footballs aren't even slipping.
It's like Rocky training in the snow in Rocky 5.
Captain Rock.
Yeah, or Rocky 4.
Greasy chicken fast. Wasn't that
we train with salmon here. I wonder, too, if they ever considered, they wouldn't do this because I don't think Washington would ever do this, but you have states like Mississippi and Arkansas. I was looking this up. You have states that have now passed legislation which exempts in places, so back there in Mississippi and Arkansas, talk about football meccas.
Yeah, Georgia, Alabama.
Florida,
Alabama.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
All these SEC teams. It means more to them than anything, football. And so what they have done is they're in order to give them a competitive edge to entice these players to come and play for them, because they recognize that, players have a short window and they want to make as much money as they can. They have exempted NIL money, the name, image, and likeness money.
From taxation?
From taxation.
Wow.
So a player comes and plays for them, and they're making, what's the UW player quarterback?
Williams. $4 million.
$4 million.
Right. That's $400,000 in NIL money.
$400,000 he's going to have to pay in taxes.
Well, he'll be gone, but your example rings true. Your example rings true. Yeah.
Yes. But in Mississippi, they just passed legislation that would exempt NIL money. In Arkansas, they passed something similar that would exempt NIL money from the state's flat. They have a flat income tax.
So isn't that funny though? Because we're talking about competitive fairness, right?
Yeah.
If a school down in the Southeast Conference can say we won't tax your NIL money, they've got a recruiting advantage.
Sure.
Well, you know, I mean, I know it's. I guess it's.
I love it. I love it. It's great.
No, I hear you. Well,
don't we love that? We love competition.
So why can't our state, if we're going to exempt whatever community, and I'm not, you know, one of the few amendments that got through on the millionaire's tax,
tribal
immunity or exemption, I should say, tribal exemption.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm not
because they recognize that it wouldn't be good
Yeah.
for tribal community. They said, hey, we're going to exempt you from this.
Doesn't that give them an unfair business advantage over non-tribal businesses? I mean, it cuts both ways.
I'm not upset that the tribal community has this.
I know. I'm
happy for them.
Just look at
I want everybody to get that exemption.
Well, you've been
not having it.
You've been crystal clear about. Let's look at the effects of this.
Yes.
Right, and moving down the track here, if we can't get the best players on the Seahawks, Mariners, or whomever cracking someday the NBA because it's taxing, now we're saying the Huskies won't get the best players because they're taxing it too.
That's another conversation I think we should reapproach. If we have guys like John Schneider, who I think we can all say that John Schneider's a fair-minded guy. Right? We all like John Schneider. We appreciate the contributions that he's made to the local community.
Sure, and even if not, when you hold up a Lombardi, you carry a lot of weight.
And when you hold up two,
you really one in each hand with totally different teams.
So if he's telling us right now, if he's telling us that this is going to affect his ability to get players to come and play here,
to get the best,
the conversation about the Sonics, I think, also has to be open.
Didn't you bring us something that said, "Hey, don't mention when you're talking, hey, Governor." When you're meeting with Adam Silver, the NBA,
yes,
don't play up that millionaire's tax looming.
This is absolutely true. And if you guys missed this story, this was before all this. This was in the conversation.
This is when it was still a mile down the tracks coming at us.
They had a meeting. The ownership, people who are in the ownership of the Kraken, who would be part of the folks who were trying to get an NBA team to come here. They had a meeting with Bob Ferguson. They sent him over material to talk about when he was going to have his phone call, which the governor's office initiated, with Adam Silver, who is the head of the WNBA, or not WNBA. NBA. He's also head of WNBA, actually.
Is it really?
The WNBA is under the umbrella.
Okay, yeah, got it.
So Adam Silver, Bob Ferguson have a conversation, and in the bullet points of what to talk about and what to shy away from, they said, don't talk about the income tax.
on the Axtay.
Because it's going to be bad for the for business. Whoever thinking about bringing the team here, the investments, it's an incredible amount of money. And if you're just going to cut 10% off, that makes it even harder. Please don't talk about that.
Right.
I don't think they're doing that because they're selfish or greedy or unfair. They want a team to come to Seattle.
They want to be competitive.
They want to be competitive. Yeah. Oh, this whole thing is just crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, would Seattle, that's a great question. Would lawmakers ever carve out an exemption for athletes?
I mean, you can always make amendments to a law.
But if
now that it's passed, right?
If they did that, they'd work so hard to vilify millionaires. If they did that for millionaires that they like.
How about just bald millionaires with, cosmetic work done? Right?
Well,
that leaves athletes out of it.
He's a billionaire.
Yeah.
He's not just a millionaire.
That's
he's
true.
A billionaire.
That's true. Yeah.
But I guess he's technically also a millionaire because
he's a 1,000 millionaire.
He's also 1,000. Yeah. But would they ever do that? I don't think they can because they have worked so hard to set the stage
you gotta have a villain in any story.
Millionaires. Yeah, they're not paying their fair share. Does he think Cal Raleigh's paying his fair share?
It's hard to separate the two. It's really hard.
When you've made that, when you planted the flag in, millionaires, bad people.
Well, yeah, and I understand the narrative.
Which again, I disagree with wholeheartedly, and I love millionaires.
Yeah, when you're telling a story, you gotta have a villain. You gotta have a bad guy, right? You gotta. That's how you just tell any narrative. And you need somebody to say, hey, they're not paying their fair share. These guys are making us so much money. And I've said this many times. I was in this argument. I was in this camp. They're making record amounts of profit. And meanwhile, the gap between the haves and the have-nots is just widening and widening. And the burden of care for the have-nots is falling to the state. I mean, I can understand that argument. But you made great points.
Yeah.
About how it's the tentacles of this thing.
Yeah.
Going back to the Kraken, right? They're going to strangle everybody.
It's going to strangle everyone. They're going to choke people out in order to get their income tax. They're going to shove it down your throat, and you're going to choke on it.
I still think it's not going to happen.
Happy Friday.
I still think, especially get guys like John Schneider behind it. I'll believe it when I see it come out of my pocket.
It's probably going to come down to state Supreme Court, and
you think it's unpopular now? Like saying, wait till you drive it. You think you hate it now?
I know. I think there's a very good chance the state Supreme Court says go for it.
I think so. I think there's a better chance it'll die at the ballot box.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right because it definitely should. It absolutely should. All right, we have 1 minute left. Let's do a happy story here. Okay. Something that's kind of fun. Did you see the video of that New York?
Oh, the two chuckleheads.
Oh, yeah, the two guys, the ISIS-inspired guys.
Yes.
Who threw a bomb. Thank God it didn't go off.
Right.
Drops it at the feet of NYPD officers. And one of those officers, his name NYPD Chief Aaron Edwards, there is a picture of him. Here it is. We have it up right now. Leaping over the rails that have been set up, the barriers that have been set up during this protest that was happening.
Right.
He leaps over the barriers and he goes and chases one of these guys down, putting his life on the line. And we have audio of him talking about this. Listen to this.
In terms of going viral, first off, I'm happy that I cleared that barrier. Okay, imagine if I fell. But to me, it was just instant. I'm trying to get the bad guy. I was in real pursuit trying to get him, and just the picture going viral. I don't want that picture to be about me. I want it to be about the day. I want it to be about what we did. I want that picture to be a reminder to New Yorkers that, your cops, the members of the NYPD, we're going to be relentless in pursuing justice, right? And there's going to be no obstacles. Nothing's going to stand in our way from protecting New Yorkers.
Isn't that just inspiring?
The iconic photo. I mean, maybe I'm being hyperbolic. That's a photo of the year. I mean, you see these iconic photos from our history.
Yeah.
That's the epitome of law enforcement right there.
Yeah, this is like a time. This is like a Time photo.
Yeah.
Like it's something you see on the
Time
cover
magazine,
of Time. Is Time even still a magazine?
Digitally, isn't that tragic? Yeah, but
I mean, this could be on the cover of any. I mean, it's beautiful.
Is this guy the chief of police? Or is he just a chief?
He's a chief. I don't think he's the chief of police.
Okay, is the NYPD chief?
Chief Aaron Edwards.
Wow, just good on you. Thank you, Chief. Thank you.
I saw this described by many people. They were saying that this looks like a still out of a hero movie,
right?
Like a comic book movie about a hero, who's jumping into action.
And to him, this is who we are. It's what we do every day. This is what
his instinct
is to go. We want you to think of this when you think of us protecting the city.
Toward the guy who throws the bombs. Yep. It's just phenomenal. God bless these guys. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. I want to do a really feel-good story next. There was a guy, older guy, that somebody found on their Ring camera dropping off her Starbucks order. And he looked way too old to be delivering food.
Okay.
He's a food delivery guy. And she kind of scratched at an itch and she inquired, like, hey, what's going on? I mean, he looks like he's in his 80s. What's going on? It's just a feel-good story of the day. It's a feel-good story of the week. You're going to love it. All right, we'll talk about it when we come back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. The stem cell therapy you did on my knee was a game changer. But Dr. Dan, people ask me all the time if you're seeing the same kind of success treating neck and back pain with stem cell therapy.
Great question, Brock. As you know from your experience, we've had tremendous success treating major joints like hips, knees, and shoulders, but we've also seen excellent results treating neck and lower back pain. In fact, we're the only clinic in the Seattle area offering image-guided stem cell and PRP injection therapy specifically for neck and low back pain.
How cool is that? If joint, neck, or back pain is holding you back, call Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine and find out if stem cell therapy may be right for you. Dr. Dan here is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's 425-823-4000 or danielnelsonmd.com.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports, even your home or business business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Right now, get a free furnace with the purchase of a premium heat pump and air cleaning package at CM Heating. Start today with an always free estimate. There's no beating CM Heating for heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical. Go to cmheating.com.
Don't wait, insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. No!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026. Taxes, fees, extra.
Big Trees is Washington's premier tree sales and transplant company. Looking for a big selection of big trees? Visit Big Trees in Snohomish or BigTreeSupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. State Patrol has seen their fair share of crashes throughout the morning, but there was a pretty violent crash involving an SUV on Highway 18 in Auburn. This man tells KIRO 7 he watched it happen.
I saw the 4Runner climb the Jersey barrier, and then I saw the other car. And I thought I better stop and make sure they're okay. Frustration though, because a lot of other people who were close to it, who actually witnessed it, didn't stop.
No one was hurt. Hundreds of flights have been delayed coming in and out of SeaTac Airport. Dozens have been canceled. Port of Seattle spokesperson Perry Cooper spoke to KIRO 7 TV.
The real challenge is the airlines trying to get all those aircraft de-iced at this point. So the matter is you've got to get those aircraft de-iced at the gates or maybe on the cargo area spaces where they are. And those can't get new aircraft that have arrived into those gates until those at the gates are cleared away.
Visibility has also been an issue. Also, all of this, it contributed to intermittent ground stops throughout the morning to stagger arrival traffic. A Lakewood couple is facing homicide charges after the death of their 2-month-old infant boy. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
Pierce County prosecutors charged 19-year-old Alyssa Vanderbeck and 21-year-old Mark Anthony Labaco Clammer with second-degree murder. The parents called 911 last Wednesday because the infant wasn't breathing. He died 5 days later, and KIRO 7 reports the medical examiner preliminarily ruled the death a homicide due to abusive head trauma. Lakewood Police Sergeant Charles Porsche says the baby's injuries were suspicious.
There appeared to be some older injuries and then the newer injuries, enough that the child died from them.
Bail for both set at $1 million. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Everett now has a new law making it a crime to expose children to several illegal drugs. Police told the council the move fills a gap in state law. According to the Herald, the state only covers methamphetamine. Everett's ordinance adds Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 drugs, including fentanyl, heroin, and cocaine. According to the Everett Herald, officers used reckless endangerment before, but this gives them a clearer charge. And at 1:33, let's head over to the KIRO News Radio traffic desk and get a check-in with Lori.
And traffic is brought to you by the Seattle RV Show. That accident on 18, finally, the roadways open both directions of 18 between Issaquah, Hobart, and I-90. Southbound I-5 at the Puyallup River Bridge, the ramp is partly blocked with a collision. Southbound I-5 just after 405 in Tukwila, we still have that, whatever it is, blocking the roadway. Seattle to Federal Way, a 24-minute drive. Federal Way to Seattle, you're looking at 33 minutes, and to Bellevue, 35 minutes. I-90 still closed, and it looks like US 2 is open, but chains are required. Don't miss the Seattle RV Show going on now through the 15th at Lumen Field Event Center. Shop over 400 new models for every budget and lifestyle. Get tickets at seattlervshow.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. The rain-snow mix continues this afternoon with a high aiming for 40 degrees. Tonight we'll drop to freezing temps again, and that will most likely produce another snowy start to Saturday, but that will quickly transition to partly sunny afternoon, and 46 for tomorrow's high. Now looking way into the future, by the end of next week, we could see temps near 60. Mostly rain with a few lingering flakes, and 35 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. I love these feel-good stories that make you feel good. This is, which is the point of them,
the definition of a feel-good story.
I hate the feel-good stories that make you feel bad.
They just don't land.
They just, I feel like they have not done what they set out to do. This one happened in Tennessee. There was a woman who was ordering, as many people do, she was ordering DoorDash or something, and of Starbucks, and she noticed on her Ring camera that it was being delivered by a very elderly-looking man. And she sees it on her Ring camera, and I'm going to read you her post. She started a GoFundMe for him because she was like, why is this very, very nice-looking Mr. Rogers-y old man delivering Starbucks to me in the middle of the day? He should be retired and enjoying his restful time of life in the golden years of his life. And so she posted this on this GoFundMe page. I'm going to read this to you, and then we have some audio. She says, my name is Brittany, and I'm setting up this GoFundMe for Richard. Richard delivered Starbucks to my home via DoorDash, and it was evident from the video that this was a task for him. She's saying how difficult it was to walk up her front steps. With the help of social media, I was able to track down Richard and learn that he does DoorDash due to his wife being fired from her job at no fault of her own. Oh, there's audio of this, Laura says. Okay, let's just use her audio. It's better than my voice. All right, this is Brittany describing how she tracked him down.
So a lady messaged me on Facebook and was like, hey, he drops food off at our place of employment all the time. His name is Richard P. She tells me his name. I get on Google, find his address. I look at the video from the camera. I see what kind of car he's in.
She needs to be a detective, by the way. Like, she should be an investigator. This is just like wanting to give somebody money, but she should go to Arizona and look for Nancy Guthrie or something.
I pull it up on Google Maps. His address is like 5 minutes from where I'm at. I was like, okay, I'm going to drive over there. So I drive over there. Sure enough, there's the vehicle that he was in when he dropped off the Starbucks. And I was like, all right, this is our guy.
Okay, so she knocks on his door, and she starts learning about what happened.
I knock on the door, and I'm like, hey, you're going to think I'm crazy, but you delivered Starbucks to my house earlier today, and we tried to get on there and adjust the tip because we were trying to give you a bigger tip, and it would not let us. So I have Googled your name and found your address, and here I am to give you money. And the look on his face, like, he truly looked mortified, like, what in the actual... But anyways, I was like, and I'm so sorry, I'm not trying to scare you. And I was like, so here's your tip. You know, we hope you have a very blessed day.
Is this not the sweetest thing in the world? Isn't this exactly the kind of story you want on a Friday before you head into a weekend?
Can we share the video of him delivering coffee? Is it possible at all?
Yeah, we can post that.
You can't describing how hard it is for this gentleman.
Yeah.
To do this gig work.
There's 2 steps he's got to step up, and it takes him a minute.
It doesn't describing it as difficult doesn't do it justice for this poor guy.
And you know what? He's probably not. We'll hear from him in just a second, but I don't see any anger or anything in his face.
Oh no,
he's just trying to do what he needs to do to make a little extra money for him and his wife.
Exactly. His wife said she was fired.
She was fired from her job, and he's doing it with a good attitude, and just like a beautiful old couple. They've been married for 56 years.
And when a customer tracks you down,
yeah,
it's usually not to give you a bigger tip.
Usually not.
It's usually to say, how come every time it takes you 8 minutes to walk from your car to my front porch, my coffee's cold? Usually that's the gist of today's gig consumer.
Let me play you a little bit more of Brittany, and then in just a minute, we're going to give you an update on how much this GoFundMe has raised. And that's really the punctuation on this lovely story.
God really told us that we needed to bless you today. Like, you have been on our mind, and we needed to do this. And he asked us so many times, like, are you sure? Did you mean to give me this money? Can you afford it? Are you going to be okay if you give me this money? Yes, sir. And it was sad. He had food on his face. Like, he's just a little old grandpa. Like, he is cute. He was adorable. I was like, can I give you a hug? He's like, any pretty lady can give me a hug anytime. But he thanked us, and he thanked us, and he thanked us.
He is from a bygone era.
And I told him, I was like, I promise I'm not trying to be weird. I was like, if you want to keep...
Yeah, if you're watching the live stream right now, we're showing the video.
He's adorable.
He's just a sweet old man.
Working, I'm happy to, favor your name and make sure that you are able to deliver to me, whatever. And, he's like, I work because I have to. I don't really want to. He said, I was actually retired, but my wife lost her job at no fault of her own, which also means she lost her health insurance. And he said, so by the time we pay our living expenses plus our medical expenses for our medicines, we have nothing left at the end of the month. So he said, this was the only thing I knew that I could for sure do to supplement our income. So I did it.
All right. So she sets up a GoFundMe for him. This is only 2 days ago. This is how crazy the internet is. Dora used to say something, because we used to cover stories like this every once in a while when they would happen.
Thank goodness.
And Dora used to say, there's no off switch on the internet. That could be both a bad thing, but also a very good thing. So in this case, I think we can all agree this is a very good thing. So she sets up initially this GoFundMe, and she's seeking, a few $1,000s for this guy. Everybody in the world loves this guy and goes, man, I want this guy to have, that he doesn't need to be stepping up those steps anymore. And so I'm gonna.
Plus, it's not covering their bills.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're covered now. Let me tell you what, they're covered now. This last clip, Laura, is this her sitting at the table with them?
It's sort of the reason of the GoFundMe.
The last clip. Okay, there was one with the older couple too. Do we have that one? Okay. Let me play this last one from Brittany.
Working? No. I don't know. We need to help him. We need to help all of the elderly people in our communities who are literally struggling to walk, retire, because, they took care of us at one point, and it's our turn to take care of them.
All right, so Brittany then sets up this GoFundMe. It catches on like wildfire. She then goes and wants to share the good news with this lovely gentleman and his wife. And so she goes to coffee with him, and she sits down, and we hear a little bit from him. Here we go.
It's just really difficult to believe that there's that many people that are that generous to.
That's his wife.
Try
That's
to help
Richard's
us.
wife.
People they don't even know us.
Thursday morning, they saw the latest total together.
$281.
Richard and Brenda say they'll use the money not just to finally slow down, but to keep enjoying their 56-year marriage without so much worry hanging over them.
Sometimes you just look at all the things that you need to pay or need to do, and if it don't, you're going to end up in the hospital or somewhere with something even more expensive than that. It takes off a lot.
Inside the Jiffy Burger in Manchester, you can always find a good meal.
All right, we can cut it off here.
$281? That's amazing.
$281,000 at that time. That was Thursday. So the story has gone on, and the current total is what, Spike? Yeah, go for it.
$606,000.
20,000 people have donated to this. $606,000
in 2 days.
And the cool thing is, that's money they can buy insurance for the rest of their lives.
Sure can.
That's money that this guy can stop working. He can order Starbucks for himself. I mean, what a great story.
Oh, thank you for finding this.
Isn't that lovely?
I had
Just
no
makes
idea.
you feel
man.
good.
I had no idea.
Feel-good stories that make you feel good are the best, as opposed to the other kind. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute, non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendonitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee.
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hey, this is Pete from Home Matters, a show that covers everything having to do with your home. Tune in every Saturday from 2 to 3 on KIRO Newsradio, where you'll hear from local business owners who are experts in their industries. From foundation to flooring, roofing and windows, furniture, and financial planning, it's everything in and around your home, and we've got you covered on Home Matters. If it matters to you, it matters to us here at Home Matters. Saturdays from 2 to 3 right here on KIRO Newsradio, or listen to the podcast on mynorthwest.com.
John Curley here with Closets by Design. Take advantage of up to 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Go to closetbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule your free in-home design consultation today.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
It's a great time to visit Subaru of Puyallup during the Subaru A Lot to Love event for extra savings through March 31st. Visit your stress-free dealership, SubaruofPuyallup.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. I saw this thing, Spike, that I was impressed by, and then immediately thought, what a stupid idea. I can't believe that was implemented. Have you ever seen one of these big giant LED floors that they have now in in college basketball? They
no,
have
I hadn't seen this till you shared this, and I don't know how to feel about this. This might be the stupidest and impressive thing I've ever seen in my life.
It is both impressive and stupid at the same time.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. To quote the great Dr. Malcolm, you could, but you never thought if you should.
But you never thought if you should. Yes.
Right?
You stood on the shoulders of giants, in this case,
And dunked the
basketball
ball.
players. So they have this floor in the Big 12.
This Big 12 tournament, right?
At the Big 12 tournament right now. I believe it's the Final Four teams that are playing, and they are deciding to get rid of this LED floor. And when I say LED floor, it's literally as if you took a giant flat screen TV, you laid it on its back, you put 2 coats of safety glass on top of it so that you don't break the screen, and then you play basketball on top of it.
You know, when you go to a game, you see the big boards above the field.
Yes.
Especially like at a hockey or basketball game.
Yeah,
Those big,
you go to
the
Lumen,
scoreboards
there's big screens.
on the end zones, right?
Yeah.
Imagine now that you took Lumen Field and you watched the play happen, and after the play, they showed you the replay on the entirety of the football field.
Yes.
That's what they're doing with these floors.
And it's really, I understand from a technological perspective why it's neat. That's as cool as it gets for me. It's neat, but it's unnecessary. Right. You can do all sorts of different graphics, anything that they want to come up with that can be shown on a TV, you could show on this floor underneath players' feet. The problem is that they're no longer playing on the traditional hardwood surface,
right?
Which is where everybody learns to play basketball.
Right. When
you're playing on teams, I mean, a lot of people play on concrete or whatever it is. In ideal conditions, traditionally you're playing on hardwood floors. And now, I'm going to play you this little clip. This is the CEO of one of these companies that has a glass floor at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. And he's talking about the glass floor because a lot of people were like, hey, glass floor, how do you play on glass? That would be wet and you'd slip all the time.
Sure.
And he talks about, no, there are like coats over it that make it feel like special coating and things that make it feel like a hardwood floor.
They said they took great painstaking care to make it a safe surface for the players to play on, that it would feel exactly like they're used to playing on. That's what they promised.
That's what they promised, but that's not quite what's been delivered. But listen to this.
First and foremost, you're on glass, and you can see there's a little grittiness right here where there's dark. This is a ceramic coating. All these dots are burnt into the top surface of the glass, and that gives me that grip. When I'm landing also, you're going to feel a little bit of a vibration to the floor. That's lighter on the athlete's body. It's lighter on their knees. It's lighter on their ankles. And the athletes feel more comfortable when they're running, and they have that same grip, if not a more consistent grip than a hardwood floor, because this is all done by computer. The ceramic coating on the glass, the 2 pieces of safety glass, all of that spring action metalwork, all of it together creates the ASB glass floor. It's the same technology that all the arena boards are. The LED is something that's used in every single arena. But in combination with the metalwork underneath it and the spring action metalwork, with the glass, it becomes a new surface.
I do feel like he's just kind of saying things. I don't know that any of these are like scientifically proven. He's like, it's better for the players. Everybody loves it. It's great.
You had to pitch this league. You had to get pitched this idea.
I guess that's true.
Because you're talking about player safety and quality of the game.
The University Daily Kansan reports that this is not the case, and that even one of their players, they say, I can't pronounce this guy's name, but he actually is getting headaches playing on the floor. It's like when you're a kid and your mom says, like, don't stand so close to the TV. You're literally standing on top of a giant TV.
It's crazy.
And it's a digital image of what a court would look like. Those aren't real lines. It's a digital court underneath it.
Well, and they can change it. I'm looking at
people are slipping, and because it is different than hardwood.
Well, it's like I said, it's a great idea. It's beautiful. You can put any configuration of a basketball court you want on there with regard to, like, here's your school's logo, here's that school's logo,
yes.
here's a laminate, here's a parquet, here's 1,000 different visually stunning,
we understand
limitless
the technological
combinations.
benefits.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, the guys are getting headaches, they're slipping, they're hurting themselves.
So they're changing the floor out. They're like ditching this thing.
Throughout the tournament, I got a chance to talk to a number of coaches about the floor and what their take was on it.
This is ESPN.
And for the most part, they said their players were not real happy playing on it. They noted the fact that the court was especially slippery. It's interesting because the LED court is designed to have give, and in fact, it probably has a little more give, so it's not as hard as a hardwood court. But what they experienced was that when they really had to dig in and make an explosive move, that is when the slips started to happen. And a number of coaches told me that they didn't really like the court as well, that the lights were a bit distracting. And then, of course, they had a difficult time really making out some of the markers on the court, like the three-point line and the out-of-bounds line.
I mean, if the players can't play on it, if it's not useful for them and it inhibits them to be able to play the game, then
the fan experience shouldn't be more important than the game itself.
100%.
You can. What if you move the 3-point line back a foot? Because you can.
You know what they could do? You're right. They could change it. So every 20 minutes they just shift, and it's going to be 5 feet closer or 5 feet further away, depending on fans voting.
Power zone.
The fans can vote in their seats. They can mess with the court. They can do different things.
Such a stupid, genius idea.
And you're right. It's a total Dr. Malcolm saying.
So preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
They should.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. We got the Friday favorites, and then we got a text message from one of our state legislators who said that we said something earlier in regards to Medicaid cuts. The whole thing's kind of confusing to me.
We were having a budgetary discussion. You and I started talking, and as was often the case, I was grabbing facts from the dusty bin of my memory.
We may have gotten something wrong. So
but
they'll join us to dispute it. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Bible Law Group, we understand what it means to be local legal representation. From shopping at the Bon Marché, picking up gear at Chubby and Tubby, crying for Joey Cora, now for Cal, grabbing a burger while JP Patches clowns by. We live here and fight for you. That's why Bible Law gives local representation to those facing legal problems too big for prayers, even if you can't pronounce Squim or Puyallup. Our legal team has secured more than $40 million in settlements for our clients. We're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn.
With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix them.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-777-1225.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
there's no beating CM Heating.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro blasts a federal judge for blocking a pair of Justice Department subpoenas issued to the Federal Reserve in January. Fed Chair Jerome Powell revealed the subpoenas were part of its investigation into him. Pirro stresses,
this outrageous decision will be appealed by the United States Department of Justice.
Judge James Boasberg wrote in part that the government has offered no evidence that Powell committed any crime other than displeasing President Trump by not lowering the key interest rate fast enough. CBS News senior justice reporter Sarah Lynch.
When it comes to a grand jury subpoena, it is an incredibly high burden to show why it should be quashed. And this action in and of itself is highly unusual and not something you see day to day in any federal court.
Trump ally Rick Grinnell is stepping down as Kennedy Center president. The change is expected to be announced on Monday. Matt Flocka, the vice president of facilities operations, is expected to succeed Grinnell. Questions continue over how long the U.S. will continue the war against Iran.
Concerns are growing over U.S. casualties and rising oil prices, even as the U.S. military is sending some 2,500 Marines and at least one more warship to the Middle East. On the Brian Kilmeade Show, President Trump was asked about the war's impact on the economy. The president said, quote, "This is going to bounce back so fast." As for when he's going to know when the war is over, Trump responded, quote, when I feel it in my bones, unquote. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Sources in Lebanon tell a freelance journalist for CBS News, two brothers of the suspect in yesterday's Michigan synagogue attack, who were recently killed in a Lebanon airstrike, were Hezbollah members. CBS's Usher Qureshi has more from West Bloomfield, Michigan.
Federal officials have identified the suspect as Ayman Mohammed Ghazali. He was born in Lebanon, actually, in 1985, and then became a citizen later on. The Department of Homeland Security says he entered the United States legally in 2011 on a spousal immigrant visa and became a naturalized citizen in 2016.
The FBI is investigating the case. This year's flu season is winding down after a not-so-hot vaccine. CBS's Cammie McCormick reports.
A new strain that was prevalent during the early winter months was not well matched to the vaccine, and that led to an intense early onslaught of flu. Officials are generally pleased if a flu vaccine is 40 to 60% effective, but this year's shots were about half that. In fact, it had one of the lowest effectiveness rates in the last 2 decades. A flu expert says the season is now coming to a close, and he's very grateful for that.
This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
Well, it's been a wild and crazy day for commuters with numerous crashes and now a new closure to add to the list. Let's get right to the KIRO News Radio traffic desk. Lori, what are you seeing?
Oh, man, Nate. US 2 is now closed as well as I-90. Traffic is brought to you by Wilcox Farms. Now, we reopened 18, but now there's an accident eastbound 18 at 516 in the right lane. But between Issaquah Hobart and I-90, the roadway is open again. Westbound 90 from 18, we have that collision partly blocking on the ramp, and 405 to Northeast 30th, a collision on the ramp. Federal Way to Tacoma, now a 13-minute drive. And if you're heading northbound to Seattle or Bellevue, about 35 minutes. And again, I-90 closed and US 2 closed. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. The snow in South Everett has turned into a slushy mess. This man tells KIRO 7 he was out in it this morning.
I had to walk to the bus stop, and it was like slushy. Pretty rainy out, almost slipped. Not so bad, and the weather's kind of unpredictable right now because it's Washington, you know.
Be ready for slick roads and slow down. A washed-out snowplow got hit by a falling tree this morning on Highway 2 east of Skycomish. DOT's Lauren Padgett tells KIRO 7, if you see a road closed sign, obey it.
It's a reminder that when we close roads because of hazards, these risks are real to all of us. So not even a washed-out snowplow is immune to that. But thankfully, no one was hurt.
And that plow driver will be back on the job tonight. Facing a budget crisis, Sound Transit has proposed some cost-saving measures on the future West Seattle Link extension, or the 3-line. The elimination of the Avalon station, downsizing other stations, and purchasing less property are among the list. These new plans could save over $2 billion, down from $8 billion to $5.5 billion, without interrupting service plans that were approved by voters in 2016. Since then, costs have soared in construction, property values have jumped, and the agency is dealing with lower revenue. The board will consider adopting these new measures as soon as May for the final design phase. The average gas prices have gone up another couple cents overnight in Washington. That puts you at about $4.76 a gallon of regular. The national average at $3.63. While Washington's prices are considerably higher, they've been generally increasing more slowly than national averages. Utility crews have stayed busy since Wednesday night's storm. Latest numbers, Puget Sound Energy just below 29,000. Seattle City Light 1,300. Snohomish County PUD 700 customers still without power. And now your weather update. Scattered showers continue this afternoon with remaining snow turning over to rain. 44 afternoon high. This weekend brings back some sunshine in upper 40s. 35 in light rain in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
All right, welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. It's going to be a jam-packed hour. We got Friday favorites, lots of great stories we're looking back on. 2:30, Travis Couture is going to join us on the show. Spike and I had a little debate earlier about Governor Ferguson's income tax excitement, and Travis Couture is going to join us, talk a little bit about that. Spike, should we just jump right into Friday favorites here? We got a ton of stuff to get to. Sure, let's do it. Let's do it. Great. So, by the way, we were talking a little bit off air as we prep for the show and for Friday favorites. I don't know if we've ever had as rich a week of potential favorites. So much stuff that we didn't get to, that we're not going to be able to get to, and a wide variety of stories too. Yep. Whether it's like making old people happy through GoFundMe donations. Girl Scouts not being allowed to sell cookies at a very, very... Girl Scouts trying to sell a cookie at a weed shop? At a weed shop, and Girl Scouts said you can't do that. Yeah. Even though these girls made $85,000 in 37 minutes. I'm kidding. Is that how much they made? No, but they... you go where the money is. It's for the kids. Yeah, that's crazy. Anywho, so many great stories. So many great stories. Laura, why don't you start us off? What's the story that jumped out at you this week?
I think my favorite, and especially with all of the snow and blizzard warnings we've been having, is this incredible survival story of a skier who was caught in an avalanche.
Yes, at Stevens Pass.
At Stevens Pass,
Yeah.
they call it the side country, because you can take the resort chairs up to it and access it much more easily than like hiking up through the back country.
Backside of Big Chief. You turn right. You don't turn left. Boom. Yeah, it's generally considered like a more advanced skiing area. It's where you probably don't take little kids. It's kind of a lot of trails, things like that.
And what really surprised me is that he didn't have a lot of, and in no way saying this to blame him at all, but he didn't have a lot of the tech that a lot of skiers skiing side or back country have to protect themselves. They've got these huge balloons now that can deploy. You basically pull like a parachute, and it floats you on top of the avalanche like it's a river, so you don't get buried.
Big bouncing ball. And it also, if you do get buried, you end up in a cocoon. That has, a lot of times they also have like very small supplies of oxygen that will you can also. That's what causes the loss of life. Because that's where people die. They suffocate. The skier had no beacon. Yeah,
no
beacon. Locator beacon.
What he did have was he had a GPS locator on his phone, and he had old school techniques of the second that he got swept, putting his hands in front of his face and creating his own air pocket as he was falling, which ended up giving him 4 hours for his wife to track his location.
Yeah, you buried the lead. What he had was one of the smartest wives on the face of the earth. Buried the lead? Yeah.
Buried the lead?
No pun intended. This guy's wife. I mean, she saved his life. There's no two ways to look at it. She saved his life. She also is I'm trying to get a read on her. Is she a uniquely worrying wife? Because she's fairly extreme in the tracking of her husband. She must have had, either she had some inclination that he was going to go in an area he should not have gone, or she's just tracking him at all times. Does your wife not track you at all times? No. I get text all the time. Wait a minute. Yeah. Yes, I am tracking you. Oh, boy, that's embarrassing. I am all the time. I'm out running errands, and I'll make a stop. My wife say, hey, while you're there, how do you, Really? Oh, yeah. That's how she shows her love, is by cyber it's funny because anytime that my parents do something similar, so like my parents, if either one of them are not with the other, let's say my mom's out shopping or my dad's at golfing. Okay. If I come over and say like, oh, hey, what's up? I bring the boys over to stretch out and run around or whatever. When's Dad getting home? My mom goes, oh, let me look on my phone. She'll just look and she's like, oh, he's 2.2 miles away. He'll be here. Or my dad does the exact same thing. I'm like, are you guys monitoring each other all the time? Do you have nothing else to do but monitor each other? Which I guess is sweet.
Ain't life great?
Isn't life sweet? All right.
I mean, if you're monitoring the grocery store and saying, make sure you go to that aisle to get the ice cream that I like, why would you not be monitoring someone when they're skiing in the backcountry without a beacon? And you know that they're out there without a beacon.
She saw that he stopped moving. He's not at the lodge. Something's not right.
She goes, pick it up, lazy. What are you doing?
Chop, chop.
Yeah.
Well, she called the lodge. And
what she did is she drove to the lodge.
Because she couldn't get a hold of anybody.
She first tries to call. We have some audio, I think, from her, right? This is Michael Harris he's the guy who survived. He spoke to KIRO 7. Let's play a little bit of this audio.
Up on that mountain, I'd resigned myself that I probably wasn't coming down that mountain. I'd kind of accepted my fate. And so the surprise to wake up in the back of an ambulance and being treated and feeling alive is something I will never forget.
Real quick, though, sidebar. Has anybody ever woke up in the back of an ambulance and they weren't surprised where they were?
That's a good point. Yeah.
You got to make some serious look at your life choices.
Here again.
I knew it. I told you.
Did you guys get new cabinets?
Oh, this dream again.
Yeah.
Also, Penny was just not going to let him. He was like, I resigned myself. I was done. Penny was like, no, you're not.
No, you're not, mister. I'll let you know when it's okay for you to go.
It really is amazing that this is all Find My iPhone.
Yes.
I mean, she can't get a hold of him, right? Do we have audio from her? Is that possible?
Yeah, we have got a little bit. KIRO 7 put together a package and kind of told the story. So
let's play some of that.
I said, God, I am in a bad way.
He was there for more than 4 hours with snow packed so tightly against his body, he couldn't move.
There was a moment of sheer panic.
He blacked out, but his wife, Penny Harris, was tracking his location.
I needed to get a hold of somebody.
And floored it to the ski resort to get in touch with rescuers.
I was sitting there waiting to just find my husband, anticipating a retrieval of a body.
My request to God was, can I just go peacefully?
But Harris wasn't dead.
We call it swimming.
Thanks to avalanche training and luck, he'd wound up with an air bubble right in front of his face.
I was able, with this arm, to create about a beach ball-sized air pocket.
And thanks to his wife, rescuers knew just where to find him.
Oh, she's the best. She's my lifesaver.
That's amazing.
That
Good
is-
for Penny.
that
Good
is
for
awesome.
Michael. Yeah, it's great. All right, so watch out there because there's a lot of snow this weekend, so be careful on those passes.
Yeah, and thank goodness he was inside country because that means that his iPhone, Find My iPhone, works.
Oh, because he was on the right
he had
side
service.
of the... Oh,
yeah.
wow. You're right.
They've been married 30 years. They were high school sweethearts.
That's the sweetest.
I mean, I just
Very
loved
sweet.
this story all around.
Great story.
Yep.
Very uplifting. Spike, what do you got? You got an uplifting story,
what
too?
What did I pick, Laura? I forgot. I'm so wrapped up in...
You were L.A.
Oh, thank you.
The LA Marathon, yeah.
The LA Marathon.
Another uplifting sweet story.
Another uplifting story. So if you missed this story earlier in the week, LA had their marathon, and there was a gentleman from, I believe, Nigeria?
Kenya.
I'm sorry, my apologies.
Michael Kamau.
Michael Kamau?
Michael Kamau.
Kamau from Kenya?
Kenya.
Was clear front runner. He had a couple hundred yards of lead.
Easy. Yeah.
And he's coming down the final stretch in front of all the cameras, the pace vehicles, the police motorcycle escort, and he's nobody even in his wake. You look down the track behind him, nobody.
Yeah.
A fan, a fellow Kenyan supporter carrying a Kenyan flag runs in front of him.
Could also
on
just
the
be
course.
a local busybody.
Could be.
I don't know.
Who's coming? Give me that flag.
Yeah.
Well, as the lead vehicle and the police escort make their way off the course do we have some audio of this?
Yeah,
as they make their way off the course to allow him the photo finish, the TV moment for the LA Evening News of this Kenyan, he follows
the lady in the
escort
vehicle.
car and the flag lady.
And he has to be direct. Everybody goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, this is not it.
He runs about 15, 20 yards off course, has to double back to the barricade.
It's like in Forrest Gump. You remember when he doesn't know to stop running? And the band,
he runs
the
stop,
band has to say,
Forrest,
stop.
Yeah, he runs out
and he
of
has
the
to
stadium.
turn around.
Well,
he does the same thing. He gets back on the course, and then he starts kicking for the finish line.
He had to double back and stop his momentum.
But by that time, somebody had started to catch up. Here's how it sounded at the finish line.
Is he within eyesight from us?
He's in the last. I don't know.
Here he comes.
Comes right now.
Here he comes. So let's get right back down to the finish line so we can watch Michael cross the line here. Michael Kamau from Kenya.
Just over 2 hours and 11 minutes on the clock.
Oh, whoa, whoa. Whoa!
Nathan Martin. Nathan Martin. Nathan Martin.
Nathan! Whoa! Oh my gosh! Wow!
And Harry
It
Met
is
Sally.
a
That's
finish
ridiculous.
for crowning of the 2026 A6 LA Marathon champion. I'm not
Came out
sure.
of nowhere because we can only see just a little bit beyond.
We have to see that playback to see
I got
exactly
to
what
hear that
happened there.
playback one more time.
Nathan Martin. Nathan Martin. Nathan Martin.
Nathan! Whoa! Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Nathan Martin. Nathan Martin.
Nathan! Whoa! Oh
It's going to be his ringtone.
Nathan Martin.
Nathan! Whoa!
Billy Crystal's mother calling the LA Marathon final for us.
Wow! It is
I'll have what she's
photo
having.
finish for
All right, Nathan Martin
So this
doesn't give up, and he gets there at the finish line.
high school cross country teacher, correct?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
he finished first.
The Kenyan had it won.
He was going to win.
And followed the lead vehicle off, or followed the pace car off the course, had to double back, giving Nathan Martin a chance.
He wins.
And he sprinted down. I mean, he caught him by, what was it, a fraction of a second?
It was 0.1 second differential between when he crossed and the other guy crossed. And how did that sound again?
Whoa!
Nathan Martin. Nathan. Nathan Martin.
Nathan! Whoa! Oh my God!
What an exciting finish. That's a great finish. That's a great finish. This was Nathan Martin, 36-year-old high school cross-country coach, winner of the LA Marathon, exciter of people calling the LA Marathon. He's from Jackson, Michigan. Listen to this guy after the race.
Yeah, so he kind of took off, and it was just a pack of like 5 or 6 of us. And we just started grinding together.
Yeah, he did.
We were switching off the lead, trying to close the gap. And around mile 5, I just kind of took off and nobody went with me. And so I said, hey, I have to push, I have to fight, and let's see what happens. And like, I wasn't thinking at that point about winning. It was just making sure I gave the effort I have. And yeah, around a mile was when I saw I had a chance, and I went forward and it worked out. So.
It's amazing. He put in the effort, and then, it paid off.
Okay. Whoa!
Nathan Martin. Nathan.
Whoa!
Nathan Martin.
Nathan! Whoa! Oh my gosh!
Across the finish line first. It's amazing.
Wow!
Good for him. That's fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah.
He seems happy too.
It's great.
You don't always get a finish like that.
No, that's
really
great.
don't.
No, that's amazing.
Oh, my
It's
gosh.
rarely in long distance running is that happening. And that's, it's amazing. Good for him. All right. Mine is also a sports one, which is kind of fun. Cal Raleigh, Randy and Rosarina.
Yes.
They're teammates during the regular season, but during the World Baseball Classic, Randy Rosarina, of course, he's from Cuba, but he plays for Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Cal Raleigh, he's from America, and he plays for America, and he's crouching behind the plate. Rosarina walks up to the plate, reaches out his hand to shake his hands with his teammate. Cal Raleigh kind of looks up at him, typical Cal Raleigh fashion, just goes, nah,
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't need to. I don't need
Blows
it.
him off.
Yeah, no thank you. So in the interviews after, Team USA goes on to win that game. In the interviews after, Rosarina, in I think 3 different languages, basically tells Cal Raleigh to bleep himself.
Yeah.
And it got kind of, here's what it sounded like when they were at the plate and Cal Raleigh was refusing to shake his hand. Again, this is like from a distance and you're not actually hearing them talk, but you hear the crowd's reaction. A lot of Team Mexico fans in the audience because when they see
took place in Houston.
This is in Houston,
Yeah.
but when they hear or when they see that Cal is refusing to shake a Rosarina's hand, and again, you got to remember it's in the middle of a game. It's not like they met beforehand.
Right.
Probably they would have shaken hands before the game, or maybe after.
Yeah, sure.
You want to have those competitive juices going.
I read that Cal actually went over and made a trip over to the Mexican locker room.
Did he?
After Team USA had beaten Mexico in that game.
And did he not shake his hand again?
They didn't give any peripherals. They didn't give any insight.
All right, so here's what it sounded like during the game. He gets all sorts of boos, which I think is ridiculous, but whatever. Boo! They said, you know what? I take it back. I don't even think it's bad that they're booing. I love that they're booing because I like fans having fun at a game. This is just fun. It's not a big deal. This is what you do. You root against the opposition. You support the team that you want to support. And I'm all for like booing people, and I think that's fun. Would I do it in front of my kids? I don't know.
Probably. That's what made this story so fun. For the next 24 hours, the city was aflame with, is there genuine beef
fighting
between Rosarino and Cal?
Yeah.
Dan
Wilson even had to answer questions about it.
He was Some of the players were asked post game, do you think there's a genuine conflict? But, I ain't touching that. Players were, and they're
I'm gonna stay away from it.
Are they having fun there, or is the competitive juices these guys need? That's what takes over when you're in a game.
Yeah, you got to find something a little extra. Yeah. So I mean, you want to be like what was the guy's name? Is it Nathan Martin? You got to be like that marathon runner, Nathan Martin. You got to find that little extra bit to get you over the finish line. And that's what Cal found in a little bit of a beef with the Rose Arena. I think it's fine. Obviously, these guys are going to do well during the season, and they're going to play great together, and it's all going to be water under the bridge.
Yeah, of course.
And especially now that they had an interesting thing that happened after. Also, Team USA wins that game. They get a little cocky.
They go to 3-0 in their pool.
They go to 3-0. Their coach, is it DeRosa? Is that his name?
I think so, yeah.
He thinks that it's a fait accompli. They're going to make it into the next round out of the group stage. And so he sits a bunch of guys. Like Cal Raleigh doesn't play. Bryce Harper doesn't play for most of the game.
Were sat out.
Yeah.
Because he said in an interview with Good Morning Baseball, I think it was, hey, our ticket's punched.
Yeah.
Of course we
don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, we want to win. But our ticket's punched, and this is like 14 days at the time, maybe from opening day.
Sure.
And he's going to give his superstars
a little bit
of a break.
Ton of respect for Italy. It's weird. We want to win. We want to win this game, even though our ticket's punched to the quarterfinals.
So obviously that wasn't right because Italy ends up beating them. Their ticket was not punched.
Right. They lose 8-6 to Italy, and we're on the verge of elimination.
And then the only way the Team USA could get in was if Italy just trounces Mexico, and Mexico would have gotten in with a win or losing to Italy by less than a certain amount of runs.
Or had to score a certain amount of runs.
Had to score a certain amount of runs.
Every
in a
run
loss.
matters, yeah.
Yeah, it became very confusing.
Runs per outs recorded is that. Anyway, if Mexico beats Italy in that final game of the round, all three teams are 3-1.
Yeah.
And America would lose the tiebreaker unless the parameters Jake mentioned. So it got really dicey at the end there.
It got very interesting. Fortunately, Italy beat Mexico.
Throttled them.
Sorry, Rosarina. I'm sure did Cal send him like a little emoji?
I don't know.
Like a little handshake emoji? That would have been funny. So Italy beats Mexico. Team USA gets to move on. And now in the next round, Team USA plays Canada.
We play today at, I think, 5 o'clock our time.
Yeah. Very interesting stuff. So go Team USA. I think we can all safely root against Canada. I think we can all feel good about that.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. We have a lot of stuff coming up. And so when we come back, there's a couple things that you can still do if you want to participate later in the show with the text messages, which we've been getting a ton of great ones. So thank you. Keep them coming. You hit us up on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line at 888-973-5476. And then also, earlier in the day, Spike and I were debating. Governor Ferguson posted this thing today. I'm going to read you just 2 seconds of it before we go to break here. But he posted this thing kind of talking about how excited he is about the income tax that's going to be now signed into law. When he signs it, he says, the millionaire's tax has now been approved by the Senate. That's his first sentence. The second sentence, he says, Donald Trump and the MAGA Congress are taking from the lowest income Americans and transferring that to the wealthiest Americans. Spike and I got into a little back and forth, friendly as always, about how much that actually contributed to why they're doing the income tax. And so we're going to now have Travis Couture, who was part of that 24-hour marathon of lawmakers who were trying to say, hey, guys, this is a bad idea. Here's the reasons why. He's going to join us next. And, if we said things that were incorrect, hopefully he can set us straight. And we can also have that debate with him about why Bob Ferguson is so excited about an income tax in Washington State. So we'll talk about that next with Travis. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know you can't cook. You're not one of those people who say that they can, but when people come over for dinner, they find out the hard way, you can't. You can't even microwave popcorn, and that's literally just one button. Plus, measuring and patience are huge parts of cooking, and that's just not you. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat.
I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
An organized home is a happy home and a happy homeowner. John Curley here. Closets by Design made me and my home happy. Experience the quality and backing of a national brand with friendly local Seattle service. From booking the appointment to a free in-home consult to installation day, Closets by Design will leave you wowed and clutter-free. Right now, get up to 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule today.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Rolling Stone calls Victor Wooten one of the 10 greatest bassists of all time. Now he's bringing the Wooten brothers to Dimitro's Jazz Alley, March 19th through 22nd. 4 nights, 6 shows, pure funk. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
You didn't work hard to watch your retirement unravel. You saved, you sacrificed, you built something meaningful for yourself and for your family. Hi, I'm elder law attorney Rajiv Nagaich. I've seen what happens when unexpected health events collide with traditional retirement plans. Savings that took decades to build drains away faster than anyone expected. At LifePoint Law, we help you build a life plan to help you protect your assets and way of life. If you are retired or thinking about retiring, now is the time to double-check your retirement plan.
Attending a free seminar now can help prevent your entire life savings from being devastated. Some simple planning will ensure you don't run out of money. Seats are filling up and your family's future is too important to delay. Sign up now for the next seminar in Bellevue on the 12th, Federal Way on the 14th, and Everett on March 17th. Learn more at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Hey, this is Pete from Home Matters, a show that covers everything having to do with your home. Tune in every Saturday from 2 to 3 on KIRO Newsradio, where you'll hear from local business owners who are experts in their industries. From foundation to flooring, roofing and windows, furniture, and financial planning, it's everything in and around your home, and we've got you covered on Home Matters. If it matters to you, it matters to us here at Home Matters. Saturdays from 2 to 3 right here on KIRO Newsradio, or listen to the podcast on mynorthwest.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Snoqualmie Pass is closed in both directions this afternoon between North Bend and Ellensburg. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Audley has been talking with people stuck at the North Bend closure point.
A lot of these drivers tell me they are actually planning to wait it out. They have confidence in WashDOT. WashDOT saying, hey, this could be hours. This could be all day. But people are like, hey, we got to get to where we're going. Some of these truck drivers, they have stops they have to make. And they're telling me some of them are not even getting paid for the time that they're spending on the side of the road just waiting for this to reopen.
WashDOT has to clear crashes, spinouts, and down trees. Then the road will have to be plowed. There have been a lot of single-car crashes in Pierce and Thurston counties today. Drivers have been losing control and going into ditches and into barriers on the wet roads. Trooper Cameron Watts tells KIRO 7 you need to slow down and make sure to get all the snow off your car.
Because if it's flying off on the highway and hitting someone else's windshield, it's obstructing their vision, and that's going to cause more collisions.
And he says if you see a road closure sign, do not go around it. Well, as the snow keeps falling across the region, will it be enough to offset drought conditions? KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey talked with experts.
Larry O'Neill, the state climatologist for Oregon, says all this snow and rain we're seeing across the Pacific Northwest is nowhere near what we need to put a dent in our regional drought.
Would have taken a historically unprecedented amount of snow from the storm to really catch back up.
So what can we do? Well, hope for a lot of rain this spring, but first, let's get through the weekend. Meteorologist Ted Beener says expect more snow on Saturday. The higher elevation you go, the worse.
That's where you're going to probably see snow on the roads.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
O'Neill says Oregon is experiencing its second worst snowpack in state history. Hundreds of flights have been delayed coming in and out of SeaTac Airport. Dozens have been canceled. Port of Seattle spokesperson Barry Cooper spoke to KIRO 7.
The real challenge is the airlines trying to get all those aircraft de-iced at this point. So the matter is you've got to get those aircraft de-iced at the gates or maybe on the cargo area spaces where they are. And those can't get new aircraft that have arrived into those gates until those at the gates are cleared away.
Visibility has also been an issue. All of this has contributed to intermittent ground stops throughout the morning to stagger arrival traffic. And speaking of traffic, let's head over to the KIRO News Radio traffic desk and get an update with Lori.
And traffic is brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Well, I-90 closed, but also now US 2 is closed. They say no detours and no estimated time of reopening. Eastbound 18 at 516, we have a collision in the right lane. And westbound 90 from 18, a collision partly blocking. 405 northbound at 30th, a collision that's on the ramp. Federal Way to Tacoma, you're looking at just an 11-minute drive, and Federal Way to Seattle or Bellevue, 35 minutes right now. Last year was one of the hottest on record. Get efficient heating and cooling with a Home Comfort Alliance heat pump for the price of AC. Don't wait. Visit homecomfortalliance.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Now your weather update. A soggy day ahead. Whether it's snow mix, snow, or just rain, it's going to be out there. We've got a cool afternoon with a high reaching 40. 32 overnight in the Seattle area, and that could spell another snowy start on Saturday, but that will quickly transition to partly sunny skies and a high around 46 tomorrow. Lightly raining and 35 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. We are very happy to have on Travis Couture, who represents the 35th District, joins us now. Travis, thank you so much for making time, man. Come on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on again.
Hey, I was expecting you to have your Tony Stark glasses on. Where are those these days?
They're in my bag. I only wear them at night, really, or for 24-and-a-half-hour floor debates.
I was going to say, and can you explain to people who have seen you in these glasses before? Because Jason Rance, my buddy here, he wears the same kind of glasses, and it's supposed to be better for you by the time you get to night. It's how do they work?
Yeah, it's supposed to help your circadian rhythm and your natural melatonin levels, and helps assist your sleep and blocks out all the harmful lights that we have in our modern world today.
Yeah, this is why my wife. This is why my wife has changed every single. Well, not she hasn't. I have.
At her direction.
Every house in my every light in my house is now changed to old-fashioned incandescent bulbs that used to be LED bulbs for the last few years, and now they're all these low lights, which basically just means my house is dark all the time. But
can I just say, Travis, as folks who aren't enjoying the YouTube channel right now, you're missing this because I love the fact that you're kind of dressed pretty casual, which is nice to see.
Yeah, we're used to seeing you in a suit.
In a suit and tie, and that's respectful and well and good.
Yeah, I've got my Charlie Kirk
shirt on.
My most people don't see my tattoos, but yeah,
I don't trust a politician without tattoos. First off, I'm telling you right now, I don't trust a guy who doesn't have some ink.
Hey,
because that's a commitment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Travis. The reason we got you on the show today is because we got an email from who was it? It was from the Washington State.
Hannah Scott.
Hannah
who
Scott
used to be a reporter here.
Yes, Hannah Scott emailed us and said, "Hey, the guys were talking about."
She's public information for Washington State Republican Party. Am I right about that? Is that pretty accurate of her?
That sounds right.
Okay.
The House Republican Caucus.
House Republican
Thank you.
Caucus. See, we get stuff wrong all the time.
I'm glad you're here.
Which is the reason that Travis is here.
We were here every day from here on out.
We were talking about something. Spike and I were having a little bit of a disagreement. Bob Ferguson posted this thing, which it rubbed me the wrong way because in the second line of his triumphant, hey, guess what? We get to have an income tax. The second line, he says Donald Trump and MAGA Congress are taking from the lowest income Americans and transferring it to the wealthiest Americans, as if somehow that's justification for how Washington has been run for the last 40 years. But whatever. I'll let Travis speak to that. And per our earlier conversation, how did we get that wrong?
Yeah, I think what's important to note is the timeline, right? Long before H.R. 1 was ever passed or even conceived, we were running multi-billion-dollar deficits. You guys remember the $15-16 billion deficit we were facing before Jay Inslee even left office. And so there's a lot we could discuss about why that deficit happened. I believe it's negligent budgeting from the majority party over the last handful of years since the pandemic. However, to face up to that deficit, they cut $782 million from Medicaid. And Bob Ferguson actually signed those Medicaid cuts into law before H.R. 1 was ever passed. And so to go around and blame Congress for cutting Medicaid, which it truly didn't do, H.R. 1, one of the main misunderstandings of it is that it's a reform bill. It's not a cut bill. It didn't cut a single dollar from Medicaid. And as a matter of fact, most of the reforms for H.R. 1 don't even come into effect until starting next year.
Can you explain, just to slow down on that for a half second, can you explain when you say they didn't do cuts, what do you mean by that? When they're saying that they didn't invest more money? Like how do you squaring that they didn't make any cuts?
Yeah, so H.R. 1 mechanically is a reform bill. It reformed work requirements and eligibility, mainly for illegal immigrants, and then also cutting out some of the more controversial elective surgeries, right, like trans surgeries and things of that nature.
Sure.
Now, people can agree or disagree on those things, but the work requirements are for able-bodied adults who don't have any dependents, so they don't have any kids. It doesn't cut out anyone with disabilities. It doesn't cut anyone out who is low income just because they're low income. But however, when in the last budget, the $782 million cut, what that represents is like a roughly $200 to $300 million state dollar cut, 95% of which hit low income residents in Washington and their services, long-term, disability and all sorts of different things. Only 5% of that cut was administrative in nature. But when you cut $200 to $300 million, you also lose the federal matching funds that go along with those state dollars.
Gotcha.
So the state actually relinquished federal dollars as a result of those cuts. And if you go back to the housing recession, the Great Recession in 2008, Christine Gregoire as governor, she refused to cut Medicaid because she knew that cutting a state dollar in Medicaid was an equal or more federal match dollar cut. But that's what Bob Ferguson and Democrats did long before H.R. 1 was ever the law. And now they want to blame and throw rocks in their glass house about it. And now in this supplemental budget, it's important to note that a budget in Olympia is a 2-year budget. And in this last short session that just ended yesterday is the supplemental budget, which is essentially like a big amendment to the previous budget, right? And they added another $400 billion in Medicaid cuts that had nothing to do with H.R. 1. And I mean, I live in the budget every single day. That's my job. I'm the budget lead in Olympia. And what I can plainly see, and they're labeled in the budget, HR1 new spending dollars, right? It's about $300 million to comply with the compliance and paperwork and everything else of those HR1 reforms that start next year. And half of that 300 million or so is the state and Democrats deciding that they wanted to extend those dollars, those tax dollars, to pay for the care of non-citizens.
Gotcha.
And so people can agree with that or disagree with it if they want, but that is the case of what has happened. But they keep trying to shuffle that blame off of onto Congress and onto Donald Trump for something that they have actually done. It's pretty clear in the timeline where that has occurred. And at the end of the day, we've went decades here with our hospitals struggling. We haven't updated Medicaid reimbursements in this state for almost 20 years.
Yikes.
And I said in committee that I feel a little weird. Here I am, a fiscally conservative Republican fighting for the social safety net in a blue state of Washington when it's being slowly erased. And that's because my constituents work very hard, over 40 hours a week, hard hat, lunch pail, work boots, and they still need a little bit of help because the cost of living here is so high. They can't afford health insurance. So there's a broader topic about health insurance and healthcare. However, but the Medicaid cuts lay solely at the feet of Bob Ferguson and the Democrats here in Olympia.
Well, my point when we had the conversation was we are losing federal funding. Some of it is Medicaid, some of it is food assistance. There's various elements of federal money that's not going to be coming into the state of Washington, which is what I had said. I think as we were getting down the line, I think I said $1.3 billion in Medicaid cuts, which is inaccurate. I'm getting choked up. And we can talk
emotional about it.
You can talk about the changing requirements that were implemented in the Big Beautiful Bill and the elimination of various formerly covered immigrants to the country who are no longer covered. And you can argue about whether or not those were just or unjust, but those are still changes from federal funding to the state of Washington, whatever the rationale may be. It's still less money coming in from the state. My point was, if those changes weren't made, valid or not, if those changes weren't made, we wouldn't be losing multiple billions of dollars of state budget, and they probably wouldn't need to pass or have the legitimacy of trying to pass a state income tax.
Well, I mean, like I said before, a lot of those changes are still unrealized. I mean, they don't even start.
As is the state income tax. I mean, the Big Beautiful Bill will take effect before the state income tax will take effect. True.
Yeah, and there's still questions about how much HR1 is going to inevitably cost.
Yeah.
But it won't really matter because the $4 billion of the income tax, once it's fully realized, has already basically been spoken for. Not present in the budget is $3 to $5 billion in collective bargaining agreements that are not a part of the budget that will still have to be paid for.
Yeah.
And so there's all of your income tax revenue. It's going to be gone. I don't see a single dollar of it going to Medicaid.
If it ever even comes in.
And we said long ago, mismanagement was the reason we're in a hole, not because we lost federal money.
Yes.
I'm all aboard that shit.
I just, his statement today saying the millionaire's tax has now been approved by the Senate. He's all excited. And then he says Donald Trump and MAGA Congress are taking from the lowest Americans, yada, yada, yada. If he was so proud of this, he wouldn't be hiding behind this smokescreen of talking about Trump and federal money. He instead would just go straight to whether or not he thought this was good. But he's not doing that because I think he realizes this is phenomenally unpopular. Every person we've talked to doesn't want this. Every business leader we've talked to thinks this is a bad idea. The few that I see on X that actually are posting how much they love this, that I've invited on the show, will not come on to talk about why they love it. The few that have spoken out front of it, like Jed Fowler, he got spanked by his dad and had to step down as chairman of his business because it's so bad for business. So I think that's what Ferguson is just hoping to distract people from this, but that's my opinion.
And bad for the Seattle Seahawks, as John Schneider points out.
We brought that up too, and maybe the fans should get the NBA back. Travis, you're wonderful. Thank you so much for giving so much of your time. Man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, guys. Have a good one. Have a good snow day.
Yeah,
thanks, buddy.
Enjoy the weekend. All right, we got your text messages coming up next. We will be right back.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right, tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
March is an extremely exciting time to be in the garden and to visit Sky Nursery, especially if you'd love to be growing some of your own delicious fruit or berries. Hi, I'm Gabby, veggie herb and strawberry buyer here at Sky. This month only, I'm excited to bring in a wide variety of Northwest-grown bare root strawberry bundles. It's a great way to save a lot of money on planting your very own berry patch. We also just got in a large order of blueberries, raspberries, kiwi, honey, and elderberry, all grown to thrive in Northwest gardens. And of course, March is a perfect time to plant fruit trees like persimmon, fig, plum, apple, and cherry. So come on into Sky. We're open 7 days a week, 9 to 6, to help you pick the right fruit for your garden, whether it's a few pots on your balcony or your entire yard. After spending 4 years in my own garden, I can say from personal experience, there's really nothing like the taste of your very first fruit or berry that you grew yourself. Visit skynursery.com for care advice and discover what's new. We hope to see you here at Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber, connects to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
It's a great time to visit Subaru of Puyallup during the Subaru A Lot to Love event for extra savings through March 31st. Visit your stress-free dealership, SubaruofPuyallup.com.
my microphone not on the whole time? We're back.
We're back.
I was talking for like 30 seconds.
I don't know what's going on. My headphones have been for the
That's
last
my
hour.
fault.
I was shaking water out of my ear.
We're back. We
It's
have
your
text
fault.
messages. Let's get to it.
Let's start with a nice one. Janet in the 206 says, "Hi kids, happy Friday. I just want to tell the three of you that your show gets better every day. Many bad things are going on in our crazy world, but you continue to approach the issues with intelligence, integrity, maturity, fairness, and grace."
Wow,
that's a lot of
Those are
complimentary words.
Thank you.
not all words that I would use to describe us.
Janet, do us a favor.
But some of them.
Check your radio dial. Make sure you got the right channel on. We're at
Oh, yeah.
97.3. That was sweet, Janet. Thank you.
Thank you,
on the
Janet.
snow, Tony and Buckley says, "I'm from Spokane in North Idaho, so this little dust in the snow ain't a jack to me. I know how to drive in all kinds of snow. Been doing it my whole life. Just saying." You know, it's funny because we don't get a lot of snow in the suburban Seattle metro. You know, in the mountains, people get it. I get, but we do forget how to drive in snow. East Coasters come here. We're from Midwesters come here, and they look at us and laugh. And Tony's living proof.
Here's what Julie B has to say in response to that, Spike. She says, "It's not that people forget how to drive. They don't know how to drive."
You can't forget what you never knew.
She might be right.
Spot
Did
on
I
there,
ever
man.
tell you guys the story of my dad trying to teach me how to drive in the snow? Because he grew up in Wisconsin and crashing the car while trying to teach me to drive in the snow.
Oh,
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned what not to do that day.
That's it. Take notes.
With
Write
that
this
lesson,
down.
you learn
Don't
more.
do it. Now throw it away. Crumble it up.
They
Throw
say
it away.
you learn more in failure. Absolutely. All right. On Bess Myers moving to Idaho, she's the woman who was hoodwinked by the DOL. Kevin in Seattle says, "All these people are leaving Washington, yet the population keeps growing. Weird," says Kevin.
Both two things can be true at the same time, Kev.
Yeah, a lot of people
are
can
moving
leave.
here for tech jobs, or for, well, not so much tech anymore, but people want to live here. It's a desirable place to be. But many people like Best buyers, who we quoted,
found it too expensive
and have moved on.
Yeah.
Got a lot in common with Jeff Bezos, with
Thank
Howard
you, though,
Schultz,
Kevin.
and Best Buy.
On the Millionaire's tax impacting our beloved Seahawks players, Mark in Maple Valley says the owners will just pass the increase to the fans. Like you said, it affects everyone.
It's true. Yep.
Yeah. 425 says, not that the masses would care, but some real great musicians here that will most likely move on. Dave Matthews, Brandy Carlisle, everybody in grunge.
Does Dave Matthews still live here? I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he?
I think he's in like Green Lake, Wallingford.
I think that's still the case, yeah.
That's cool.
He fell in love with the area.
They're both great singers. I like them both. All right.
Will the millionaire's tax stand? Todd in Stanwood says, when do we vote on it? When do we vote it down again? They will
When
just
we
tell,
do
when
vote
we
it
do
down
when
again.
we do vote it down. I can't even read this. When we do vote it down again, they will tell us we didn't understand what we were voting on and cancel it. That's happened in the past.
This is a crazy say. I got to move on from millionaire stuff. It's depressing to me.
Okay.
On the elderly DoorDash driver who now has at least $600,000 last checked. Jesus says we shouldn't live in a society where so many elderly can't retire with dignity. This just shows how broken our healthcare system is. Healthcare is very, very expensive, and one of the reasons that I am excited about the idea, they're trying to make forced hospitals to show how much they charge for things.
Yeah.
Which I really do think is a really good idea, because just like we see menu prices when you go and you buy a burger from McDonald's, I know how much that's going to cost, and I know how much it's going to cost at Burger King, and that keeps them in check. So you don't make it up to the window and go, wait, how much I'm going to be paying? So why would it be a bad thing for hospitals to tell you exactly, like, hey, itemize, show me exactly how much I'm going to be paying for these services? I think that's going to drive prices down.
Can I tell you, yesterday when I took the lovely and truly unpleasant Mrs. O'Neill to the emergency room for an accident, I brought with me a bottle of ibuprofen and a bottle of acetaminophen. I had a bottle of Tylenol, a bottle of in my pocket.
If they gave it to you there.
I saved $600 yesterday giving my wife 4 pills.
Exactly.
Over the 6 hours we were there.
It doesn't have to be that
Does not.
expensive.
Doesn't have to be that way.
All right.
On
Go for
GPS
it.
tracking your family, Bonnie says, my kid's dad is a hardcore snowmobiler, and when I told him about the avalanche story, the first thing he said was, dang, that's a stalker wife.
Well, in
Thank
this case,
goodness.
In this case, it worked. In this case, it worked. All right, Spike, pick the last one. We got about 30 seconds left.
Barbara, when skiing with my husband, know that he will be skiing out of bounds. That's what guys do.
Know that he will be skiing him. Yes, that's true. Yeah, husbands are going to push it and be dumb, and wives are going to keep him in check. It's a good marriage. All right, John Curley's coming up next. Thank you, guys. This was a great week. We hope you enjoyed listening. We really do enjoy doing the show for you guys, and we appreciate every single one of you who tunes in. And we're excited to see you back here on Monday. So we hope to see you then. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals.
Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Experience the Seattle RV Show. All the makes, models, and floor plans. Get special rates, incentives, and show-only deals. Talk to RV experts and check out all the add-ons and upgrades. March 12 through 15. Tickets at SeattleRVShow.com. Sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. The stem cell therapy you did on my knee was a game changer. But Dr. Dan, people ask me all the time if you're seeing the same kind of success treating neck and back pain with stem cell therapy.
Great question, Brock. As you know from your experience, we've had tremendous success treating major joints like hips, knees, and shoulders, but we've also seen excellent results treating neck and lower back pain. In fact, we're the only clinic in the Seattle area offering image-guided stem cell and PRP injection therapy specifically for neck and low back pain.
How cool is that? If joint, neck, or back pain is holding you back, call Dr. Daniel Nelson, Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine, and find out if stem cell therapy may be right for you. Dr. Dan here is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's 425-823-4000 or danielnelsonmd.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hey, this is Pete from Home Matters, a show that covers everything having to do with your home. Tune in every Saturday from 2 to 3 on KIRO News Radio, where you'll hear from local business owners who are experts in their industries. From foundation to flooring, roofing and windows, furniture, and financial planning, it's everything in and around your home, and we've got you covered.